Welcome in, everyone, to another session with the Second Chances. As always, we're going to start with our thank yous, the first of which goes out to Critical Role, whose amazing world of Exandria we are using. I'll also like to give a thank you to Reliquary Records, Dungeon Glitch, Critical Role, Hunter Rogertson, and Borislav Slavov, the musical director of Divinity Original Sin 2. We are using music here tonight from all of those different sources, so check them out on Spotify or wherever you stream music from. Last time, with the Second Chances, you all got a little bit of a sort of a night off. It was still technically work, but it was a different kind of work, and you were able to mostly enjoy yourselves at a masked gala in Port Zoon as you were trying to find some more allies and patrons who had money and political connections and eyes and ears over the world that could help you to make sure that if any portals opened where you couldn't get to, that you would at least know where they are and could try to find means to do so. And you did. You made a few allies and eventually made your way back to the Pandering Breeze and had plans to set sail for Port Damali the next day. But where we stopped last time, everyone else had mostly found their way to their beds or to their rooms, and Timavra and Zana were in the hallway at the door to each of their rooms, sharing a bit of a moment.
One way to put it.
So we're going to go ahead and jump back in there as I try to decide what music is...
What's the theme? Okay,
We'll use
all right.
this one, I guess.
It's not like battle music. That's good.
Yep. So you're in this sort of awkward moment where you seem to be waiting for her to say something, and she seems to be waiting for you to say something. No one really knows the right words, and you're both struggling to find how exactly it is that you want to proceed. Did you want to say anything, Maeve? This is the DM asking, not Zana.
I mean, she kind of said the last thing, which is, yeah, I'm asking you out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So she's, I would say that, if the silence drags on for too long, I think she would say something akin to, you can say whatever you need to. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
I would like to spend more time with you. But there are also, I think, some things that we need to address in time.
Okay. Do you want to talk about some of those things now?
Make an insight check.
21.
There is a worry that is currently painted across her expression as she kind of averts her eyes and looks down a bit and fumbles a bit with the sort of blue diamond-shaped sort of badge that she has on her formal wear, which you also notice and recognize that she wears normally on her normal attire as well. We have a few days at sea. I'm sure we'll find some time.
Okay. Do you want me to give you space till you're ready to talk to me about this?
She shakes her head. No.
Okay. Probably gonna be following your lead in the beginning of how okay you are with all of this until I know more what's going on. Is that okay?
She nods without a word and then walks into her room and shuts the door behind her.
good night. But
Bill
she
wants you to know that you're doing pretty good and you haven't put your foot in your mouth yet.
who does? Oh,
Bill.
thank you, Bill. Yeah, May's trying her best. I will say though, she kind of sees the door slam of her face, and she's like, "Wait, did that
She
go
doesn't-
well or
she-
poorly?"
She doesn't slam it. She just
Slam it.
says, and then just kind of, silently slips into her room and shuts the door behind her.
All right. Well, Maeve's gonna just kind of step close to the door. Not open it, but she's gonna say through the door, "Good night." In case she's still there, she walked away. She's not sure.
You hear in your head, good night.
Now she's gonna go in her room and be like, "I think that went well. That was a lot."
Luster just kind of cocks his head to the side a little bit.
Her door is closed at this point. She kind of rubs her nose a bit. "I think she said yes."
You hear in your head, I did. The walls are really thin, everybody.
She thinks back to her. "Okay, all right. Well, I may need to worry about volume now." And she's gonna just kind of silently mime now towards Luster, like,
Luster puts his paws up in the air and then stuffs one of his paws down his mouth.
What does that mean?
And she put her foot in her mouth.
Oh.
she's just gonna put her hands in her hips, and then she'll get ready for bed.
Rosalind, you said you're up on the deck, is that right?
She was up on the deck, with Winston for a while.
Okay. When you're up there, at some point you hear in your head from Zana, I need you to do me a favor when we're out at sea. Don't let me forget.
Sure. Anything specific or just a general favor?
Something specific.
Okay.
Don't mention it out loud around me.
She nods. Okay.
All right. Was there anything else that anyone wanted to do this night? All right. Then with that, everyone eventually finds their way to their quarters, except for Winston, who passes out upstairs on the deck.
Winston's
Who
got a
is
drinking problem.
Winston?
Winston does. He's one of your crew.
Oh.
The man's the crow's nest.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah,
His
he
name
has a
is-
serious drinking problem.
you-
His name is Eagle-Eyed
Notion.
Winston.
If you go to our Notion page, I have put in all of the members of our crew into the section of our
Maeve.
ship.
Maeve.
I
if
don't
it's
know
not
if I just forgot.
If it's
'cause,
not
I,
D&D
left
time,
early.
Katie's not doing anything.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But
I was
yes,
just mentioning that it's
he's
on
about
there.
he's about 80 years old and he's an old sea dog.
He's 80 years old.
Yeah, he's really old.
Why does he make the sound too?
You have to ask him.
I don't wanna.
That's a weird thing to ask somebody.
So, you all awake the next morning, feeling mostly refreshed, depending on how much you drank last night. If you think you might have a little bit of a hangover, maybe you do, but I'll let you decide that. But otherwise, it is time to hit the open waves, unless there was anything specific that you wanted to do in Port Zoon before it was time to leave.
Did you want to spend your prize, Hermia?
Oh,
Oh,
yes. So, Hermia,
Can I sell it? I get a lot of money, right?
you could try to sell it. You are not
GM
going.
dies.
You are not going to get the actual full price for selling it that it would cost for you to buy, because A, people don't keep that kind of money on them unless they're adventurers,
You're just taking that from earlier. You can't do
and B, they have to be able to resell it, and so they're not going to buy it from you for 40,000 gold and then try and resell it for 40,000 gold. There's no profit in it.
that. Yeah.
So if you wanted to, you could, or you could
Use it as a trade.
you could get a magic weapon for somebody, or if you just want to get a +2 sword, there might be a way for you or Roz to use it to upgrade your weapons.
You told me there wasn't. Or why do you lie to me? I
Things
asked you
can
if I could do
change.
that, and you said
Things
no.
can change.
Well,
but
can I or
eventually,
can't I?
if I let you do it to make Foam your +2, when he awakens, he won't become a +3. He'll just get his new powers, but still be a +2. So if you're fine with that, then yes, we
Okay,
can do
then can I trade it for something else?
For what? Like for one of the
I
other
don't know.
items?
No, for just like something of equal value.
No, because that's not.
Why?
Because they don't have those at the. What would you like then?
I don't know. Something that I can use.
We'll talk about it later then, because that's just
Okay.
a lot of things. So we'll say that you took the +2 sword then, okay? So that way, if you want to potentially use it or Roz wants to use it, she can. Otherwise, wait till you get to Port Damali, and then you can look at going into a magic shop to trade it. That way, you have time to look around at stuff, okay?
Hey.
Okay, cool. So besides that, anything else anybody wanted to do in Port Zoon?
What the fuck are we doing with our horses?
I'm bringing mine.
I need to remind us about the horses.
That's right, the horses.
Because we can't fit them on the ship right now, right? It's too big. Or can we?
Ooh, no, I'd say for the cart and the horses, yeah, it's a little big.
Okay, can we fit the horses?
Just buy a bigger cart when we get there.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
You have how many horses? You have 3 horses, right?
We have 3 horses.
Oh my, let me take a look at your ship again here real quick and see how much fun that's going to be, trying to take horses for 4 days across the ocean. Ba-bum-ba-bum.
We probably could pay someone to take the cart to Port Damali.
Take them a while. You'd get there way before they did. You know what? Yeah, you can fit the horses. It's a tight fit on one of the lower decks. We might do some animal handling checks to see how their
Wait,
temperament.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can I trade my sword for like a Pokeball like Trinket has?
Leaf
So I
will
can put the
offer
horse in
to
there.
Leaf will offer to cast Enlarge Reduce on the horses.
How long does an enlarge reduce lasts? 10 minutes.
Dang it. I was hoping it was 8 hours.
Doesn't it?
I mean,
I'm
probably.
I'm pretty sure it's 10
Probably,
minutes.
You didn't even look.
Okay, yeah, Hermie, I'll let you do that. I actually have a homebrew item that I made that if you remind me, I'll send it to Roz
That
to
way
put
I don't
into.
pick something that will break your game.
Yeah, no, yeah, it won't. So that's fine. So as you guys are discussing what to do with the horses, Hermia takes this +2 longsword that she has and just runs into town, and shows back up 2 hours later with this small ball that she walks up to Arabelle. I assume is who you want to use it on.
Yeah.
And you watch as she utters some words, and Arabelle gets sucked into this magic orb.
Guys, look what I found.
Can that take any living thing?
I'm gonna assume a horse size.
It can hold within it any creature that is a lower CR than your level is. It will get automatically ejected after 24 hours, but you can try to put it back in at that point as well.
Fair enough. You're gonna have
Why
to
does
feed
it
her. still.
automatically eject?
So that way you can't use it on a bad guy and then just be like, we're going to keep him in here forever and never have to worry
Why
about
couldn't
it.
you just have it just be a creature, like a horse ball?
Well, because D&D 5e wording is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you say creature, it literally means anything.
That's dumb.
So it's
Fair
fine.
enough.
Like you basically just have to let it out and then you can put it back in.
Okay.
All right. Well, then we only have to fit, I guess, 2 horses. Hermie, you're in
Which-
charge of feeding Arabelle.
Yes, which you can do. You can fit 2 horses. We may do some animal handling checks to see how well behaved they are after certain points. But it's not uncommon for horses to be in tight spaces while they travel for long periods of time.
I can also speak with animals once per day, so
Yeah.
I can
So
always help with
yes,
that.
you buy enough food for several days worth of travel. I'll say that you can sell your cart. Leo, you'd probably be in charge of it, so go ahead and make a persuasion check.
The only other thing, since we're still in town, is I'll ask Zana if she wants to get a new gun now or wait till we're in Port Damali, since that may have more options for her.
Persuasion?
Yep, persuasion.
12 plus 10, so 22.
Okay, you sell it for 50 gold.
50 gold!
50
Guys, we're rich.
gold. Yep.
Are you pocketing it or are you giving it back?
I'll put it in the party loot since I bought the cart with the party loot last time.
All right, that's nice of you. Sorry, go ahead, Robbie.
She basically brings up the people that you had met at the party who were shooting with their gun, and mentions that she would rather find the parts herself and build it herself, and if we have time in Port Damali, she'll do it then.
Okay, that's fair. That is fine. Just wanted to make sure, because I don't want to forget a magic gun.
Yes, magic guns are important. What? Sorry, hold on. I actually want to show people in the chat the Orb of Capture, but for some reason, when I use the Find feature, oh, there it is. It wasn't working for some reason. But for those interested, this is the wording for Orb. Oh, that's a character limit of 500 words, apparently. There's a lot on this. Does that work? There you go. That's the Orb of Capture, everybody. It is a homebrew item, yes. All right, so anything else? Zana kept the money for herself. The 4,000 gold that you both earned, she put into the party fund.
Oh, did she?
She did.
Oh, maybe. Oh, she did. Oh, no. It's the money she won at the end. That's what she kept.
The 1,000 platinum, she definitely
that's what it
has
was.
herself. Look, if you end up
1,000
needing 10,000 gold for
10,000
something,
gold?
like
Wait,
she'll pitch in, but
Was it
Yeah.
1,000 platinum or was it
Yes.
100? Oh my
it was
god.
it was 1,000
10,000
platinum.
gold.
Yeah.
That's we have 11,000 in our party fund, so she's got half of that in gold.
Her money, not that you know this in character, she actually has 1,000 platinum, 4,000 gold. She's a world-class assassin. What do you want from
So
her?
why are we like paying for shit? Why isn't she paying for shit?
Wow.
Well, she has to buy us gifts at some point.
Oh, you think
I
so?
don't think she will,
Friendship
unless you're
gifts.
Maeve.
You got to cap out the friendship meter to get a
Oh,
gift.
I was gonna say. just work on the
Also,
friendship meter.
just as an FYI, the Pandering Breeze now has a handout with stats for the hull, the control helm, the sails, and then your
Gee,
weapons
I wonder
as
why
well.
that is.
Because you
Mhm.
guys bought to have them installed.
No, I saw the map.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You saw the map that you had when you fought the pirates, okay?
No, it was a different map.
Got him.
All right. So, are you now ready to leave Port Zoon behind? There's nothing else that anybody wants to do.
This is the new day.
The next day, the next
Yes.
morning.
All right.
It's a page.
Then, with that in mind, as the sun begins to hit its highest point, the Pandering Breeze and its crew set to work. You watch as everyone from Cole to Kayru, Spicy Tabby, and Rowdy Rachel all set to work like clockwork. Rigging the sails, loosening the moorings, even old Winston moves with a vigor that you wouldn't normally think that he possesses. And within a span of 10 minutes, the wind hits the sails and begins to tug you all outwards away from Port Zoon and into the wide open Lucidian Ocean.
Where's Princess?
You're not sure where Princess is. You haven't seen her since you all went to the ball or the gala the other night.
Did you keep her on you? Wasn't she gonna be a purse?
Yeah. I still had her.
No, she turned
If
into
you
a
made
purse
her-
and you haven't seen her since then.
Okay. Well, is she in my room? Because that's where the purse is. I look in my room.
Okay. You go into the room, you look around. Obviously, you haven't really, like, decorated this place. The rooms are pretty barren. There's a bed in there, barrel that has like some water stored in it, wash basin next to it that you can, put fresh water into and empty and stuff like that, and a chest as well. As you walk in, you notice that by the chest at the foot of your bed, there is a smaller chest sitting in front of it.
Aw. Hi, princess. Does it say hi back? Did she say hi back?
The lid of that small chest kind of pops open a little bit, and you see the two glowing yellow eyes inside.
Aw. Hi. Okay. I feel better now.
Okay. All right. So as you're off sailing the first day, if there isn't anything specific that anyone would like to do, let's see. Roslyn,
Yo.
would you like to roll a D8 or a D10 for me?
You always pick on Roz.
I
That
rolled
rolled
a
like shit.
D6 to decide what it was.
I can either roll a D8 or a D10.
Yep, your choice.
What's the difference?
The
If
difference
you say two, I
is-
swear to God.
The difference is a lot.
Oh, great.
I don't
I
like
guess
that.
I'll roll the D8.
Okay.
7.
So in the distance, you see a large dragon turtle slug coming towards you.
So the majority of the day is pretty clear sailing. You don't see a whole lot of other boats once you eventually leave the Port Zoon harbor. This is the first time, like last time you were on here, you're going to a specific destination and then back home pretty quickly as well. So now that there's a longer voyage ahead of you, some of the different crewmates kind of take those of you around who are keen to learn a little bit about the boat and how to help, sort of daily things. So if you're interested in any of that, we'll say that you all have a little bit of secondhand knowledge about how to help out on the boat a little bit.
For sure.
Awesome.
And after
Today we have the
about
six.
7 or 8 hours of travel, once Port Zoon is far, far, far in the distance, and at this point now you can just see a thin green line on the horizon of the Menagerie coast. A little gray bump where the Sirios Mountains rise up behind it. Those of you... Well, let me ask. Where does everybody think they are on the ship?
I guess at this, Maeve likes looking at the coastline, so she'll probably just looking out there. She also has
Okay.
the eagle eye things, which is her see far distances. So
I'd
That
probably be up towards the wheel, the thing that
Maeve's like-
steers the ship.
Maeve's like, I can see
The
home
helm?
from here.
you're right.
Yes, the helm.
Oh man, look at those
Hold on, Why
mountains.
can't I grab y'all? There you go. Boom, 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 boom. I had to change Zana's token to her new picture.
Wait, where are we?
All right, so sorry. Maeve is up on the deck.
Yes.
Leo, you said you wanted to be up near the helm.
Roz will probably be up near the bow, just enjoying the sight of and the smell of the ocean.
Okay, that's where we have Maeve. Luster, I assume, is with you as well.
Yes.
All right. Leaf, where do you think you would be?
I think Leaf would be probably in Corey's room, learning and doing some arts like painting and learning how to draw.
All right, so
and sketch and
Corey and Leaf are hanging out downstairs.
Are you finger painting?
Might be.
stuff.
It'd be
Maybe
fun.
it's pseudobot painting.
We'll say Zana is down tending to the horses. And Hermia, where are you?
I guess I'll just be on the deck, just looking over the side.
Near anybody? You're trying to just hang out by yourself.
Be a loser and hang out by myself.
Be a loser and hang out by yourself. You got it.
You want to hang out with her, by the way. She's in the same area. I'm just letting you know.
I don't know.
All right. If we have to do any maps for any reason, you see big blue turd shapes. Those are horses.
Those are,
And-
what?
And until I
Got
can find horses to put on there. All right.
Oh,
So,
boy.
Rosalind and Maeve, you're actually pretty close to each other. You're both sort of up on the bow of the ship, maybe
Yeah.
just on opposite sides. If Roz is kind of looking out the water and Maeve's looking out at the coastline.
Yep.
Leo, Captain Bright Eyes, and First Mate Flowers are near you. They're actually both up at the wheel. Hermia, you're on sort of the main deck. Again, by yourself. Nothing's really going on. And Leaf, you and Corey down in their room. You know that Selena the songstress is also sleeping as well because she usually takes a night shift. But those of you who are on the main deck and the quarter deck, look up and notice that the sails, which are full and blowing, slowly begin to deflate. And after a few minutes, just sort of hang there, no wind blowing whatsoever. The air has completely died down.
Bro. Well, that's fun.
It's not good.
Hey, Leaf, can you make some wind for us?
He's downstairs in his room. Their
Oh.
room.
You can communicate
Yeah,
with them
Razzle.
telepathically.
Yeah, Roz will think that telepathically. Hey, Leaf, the wind's sort of... Well, it's gone. Would you mind
There is no wind.
maybe giving us some wind? Can you do that?
Turn on wind, please.
Well, Leaf is downstairs
I
deciding.
could-
Are you just going to answer back, Leaf, like telepathically?
Yeah, Leaf is gonna say. This one could, but it would need to reset its programs at the start of the day.
Got it.
Leo, you being closer to the captain and first mate, you can see that both of them are like pretty confused by it too, and they look like a bit worried. Flowers is like the wind. That's like out at sea. The wind doesn't just stop. There isn't just no
Yeah.
wind. And Leo, with your high passive perception, and Maeve, you'd notice this as well, since you have a pretty high passive perception as well. Looking over the edge, the waters have also become still.
Just like glass.
There's like small little ripples, but like there's no waves. Like it's not moving. Like you are just dead in the water here.
Can I tell how far away? Like, does it look like the entire ocean is glass, or does it look like it stops at a certain point?
Interesting. Make a perception check.
All right, I will. 25.
With a 25, yeah, I think that especially with the magic
Eagle eyes.
eagle eyes that you have, you can notice pretty far off that there are some birds off in the distance on the horizon. That the way that they're flying, they seem to be fighting back against like a wind, or gliding another way on the wind. It seems to strangely be localized here and around you, Leo. It's at about that point that you notice a shadow in the water go underneath the boat.
Everyone, the
Shout
music
in
changed.
the water.
What'd you say?
The music changed.
No, right?
Something has gone
Something
wrong.
has gone very wrong.
Well,
I
that
think
didn't last long.
Maeve is going to like go to anybody who's closer, so probably you first, Roz, to be like, this is not a natural occurrence. Something is wrong.
Hmm.
And I'll just shout out to everybody, there's something big in the water.
Ah, damn it.
Just
I get my
Uh,
bow out.
First Mate Flowers is like, oh shit, and she like walks over and like kind of looks over the side as well. And she sees a few things and points out, well, I can tell you right now, that and that at least are sharks, but they shouldn't be able to just stop the weather like this.
Um,
Roz looks at her like, listen, I don't know much about the ocean, but even I knew that.
can I use my necklace to like detect a magical effect?
Yeah. I would say that with your necklace, there is just sort of this faint, all-pervading aura of, we'll say, abjuration. Well, kind of like a mix of like conjuration and abjuration.
Okay, so someone's definitely casting something that's causing the water to be weird.
You want me to jump in and murder them?
Let's not jump into
no,
anything.
But
Roz,
the sharks might eat you.
you just learned how to swim like 3 weeks ago.
Also,
I
if
have
you're
my
wearing heavy
breathing
armor, you're
bubble.
not going to be able to swim with heavy armor on.
I mean, that's fair. I
Yeah.
presume Roz is not in her armor at the moment, given that we're just
Fair enough.
sailing.
Fair enough.
At the start of each day on boats, Leaf would have water breathing prepared and ritually cast on the whole party.
That's fair. That's fair.
Especially
I
after
love
what
the
happened at
safety.
sea.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
love
As well as the crew.
How many people can you cast it on?
It's a ritual, so it just takes...
It's not like a
Oh.
concentration type deal.
No, it lasts 24
No.
hours, so...
Oh, okay, cool. All right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
That's
So
so
make sure
good.
that you make sure. Oh no, if you cast it ritually, you don't have to mark anything.
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, so it'll just take like an hour at the start of the day to
Yep.
hit everyone.
You then feel the boat rock a bit and hear a loud thud. And looking over the edge, you can see these massive 15-foot shadows, which Flowers pointed out to be the sharks, slamming into the side of the boat. But perhaps a bit more concerning than that is you see water beginning to rise up and crawl up the side of the boat, and realize that water elementals are beginning to board.
Why?
Oh,
Why are they so
funsies.
bored?
Let's go ahead and bring you on over here. Make sure that everyone's HP is where it should be. The tokens that I grabbed may be a tad outdated, so just make sure that your everything's updated properly. Switch over to the battle. And let me grab a few tokens here real quick.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I wasn't loading. Where am I? Up here. Okay,
How
everybody.
do I fix my HP?
Do you
Supposed
just
to be
need to add?
96. It's
Okay, it's
supposed
too
to be
low.
96.
Okay,
It's too
yep.
low, and I just made a temp HP points.
Yep, it should be 96. 96. 96. There you go. Let's grab the
That's
Sharkies as well.
Oh, that's not.
That's not good.
It's not good.
Yep, they're pretty big.
Why is it a skeleton?
I don't know.
Y'all don't know that yet. I didn't realize that the names were on.
Yeah,
Guys,
their names are on everything.
guys,
Alright,
Chain
that's
Hank followed us.
The return
just
of
made
Chain
some
Hank.
sharks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yo, fuck those. Listen, I can't go on land, but if they ever come back on water, they're fucked.
As the water elementals surge up onto the main deck, you see as hold on, let me make sure I know how many I'm using. I think I have these saved somewhere. Something is jumps out of or is like spat out of the water elementals.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
What?
I would, everyone make a nature check for me. Roz, you can do so with advantage.
Interesting. You never get to do that. I rolled 5, so I have
That's
no
intelligence.
idea.
Everyone make a nature check.
Yep.
Yeah.
20, dirty 20.
Okay.
I
You
have no
recognize
idea.
it, Roz. A fish-like humanoid being, not Miro. You've read about them. You haven't ever seen any of them yourself, but you do recognize a Sahagin when you see one.
Oh.
Those are bad.
And a smaller one hops out of one of them, and then
An Ukatoa priest.
you don't know what Ukatoa is, though.
I mean, I might have to do like what
Yeah,
an
do a history
Arcana.
check, but you have no reason to do so just yet. And then finally, you hear something else climbing up over the edge as well. And these ones, a little bit bigger, Sahagins as well.
Oh boy.
So
The
with
Baron?
that,
Does that mean he owns his own land?
he does own his own land, yeah.
Fuck.
Let's go ahead and roll for initiative, everybody.
Rolling for initiative.
Guys, I'm in danger.
You're fine. They're made out of water. Water
I'm
doesn't
in
hurt.
danger.
24.
I'm sorry, Corey, but this may seem forward, but
Doing pretty good.
I really
rolls
wanted to
today.
be in that lamp again and see what it's like. You want to go hang out in there?
Gonna have
Oh,
to.
right, initiative.
All right, all of the monsters are going to be invisible on initiative. I apologize, but this way I don't accidentally delete them. All right. Let's start with
thing I got
water
initiative on.
elemental.
Oh.
15.
Good thing
Ukatoa
I had
priest.
initiative on initiative, otherwise I would have to go after Rosalind. Ugh.
Oh, that would have been embarrassing.
That's an embarrassing thing. Roz is not quick on the uptake.
Oh, that's only an 8 for the barons.
To change Luster's HP because he's 55. What a good boy.
Good job, Luster.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I
good
still
job.
can't see his HP.
All right, so we have Maeve.
not-
I can fix that. So we have Maeve, Rosalind, Leaf. So we still need Leo. What'd you get, Leo?
27.
27. Oops, get in there. 27. We're gonna put just everyone on the captain's turn, which is a 14. All the crewmates will go at once. Hermia, what did you roll?
13.
13. Zana has advantage and a +10, also for 27.
Damn.
Well, she's going to need it just to get up to the top of the deck.
Yeah.
And then Corey will get an 18 plus whatever her thing is, but I'll go and check that. We'll say 18 for now. All right. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. So, top of the round is Zana. She's going to slide underneath the horses. 5, 10. Yeah, I'd say everybody underneath the ship would have heard like the boom, 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 and
Yeah.
be like, something's happening. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Come up here.
I'm sorry, what are these
40.
blue things right here?
45.
Water elementals.
Horses.
Oh, horses. Sorry, you meant the sausages. Those are
Yeah.
horses.
So
Got you, okay.
she nope, and then she can bonus action dash. So Zana basically just comes out this door and sees you, Hermia, just in time to hear you go, "I'm in danger." And that is the end of Zana's turn. Leo, it is your turn. Now, just as an FYI, the quarter deck is just above here. So if you come
That's
down,
what I figured.
Yep.
Where is the swivel gun though?
So your swivel gun is right up here. Sorry, at the front of the ship. That can actually turn around to be able to shoot like anywhere on the ship if need be. Also, keep in mind though, depending on if you miss or what you roll, it's could potentially damage the ship as well. And then the cannons obviously aren't really usable in this particular case, since they're cannons and aren't maneuverable, if you will.
And
So-
my last question would be, would Captain Bright Eyes alert me to this guy?
Oh, yeah, Captain Bright Eyes is like, oh, shit, they're coming. They're boarding us.
Okay.
This,
Then I'll yell
this
out,
isn't good.
Get below, and I'll run towards this way. And how far down is...
It's like on the edge of the it's climbing up, basically.
I'm going to pull out my new item. And it has oil, right?
What's that?
The jar of bullshit.
Oh, the alchemy jug?
Yes.
You can turn it into oil. Let's see here. Alchemy jug, D&D Beyond.
Trying to
You're just
burn
going
it
to
out.
pour a bunch of oil over this guy?
Oh. There's a quart of oil or acid. But I don't want to damage the ship. So yeah, I would just use my action to say oil, and I'll pour a quart of oil
All right.
on the side of the ship to try to make it slippery.
Yep. All right. So you can use an action to name one liquid. So it would be oil. So that's your action to name it. And then it takes another action to open the jug and dump it out. So you'll have to wait till your next turn to dump it out.
Oh,
Okay.
boo.
Fine.
Action to speak a word?
I would say that, like, the action is basically speaking the word and then waiting for it to, like, fill up with it.
Oh, well, I guess if you want to use logic, it makes sense.
Yep.
Cheating.
And then I have my cigar ready to light the oil on fire when it gets on him. So I'll
Sure.
do that
Don't
my
light
next
our ship
turn.
on fire.
Mm-hmm.
No, the oil to
I-
use for
I
the
love
thing.
how he's like, I don't want to use oil and, like, ruin the ship, but I'm going to set this thing on fire. Or I don't want to use
Yeah.
acid and ruin the ship, but I'm going to set this thing on fire next turn.
We're on water. Water puts out fire quickly.
Not an oil fire.
All right.
Specifically not an oil fire.
So you used it in again, it is only a quart of oil, okay? So we'll have
Yeah.
you roll something, and if you can splash it on him, then he'll maybe have like an AoE dot on him, basically. So, all right, you fill your jug up with oil. End of your turn?
Yeah.
You want to
Oh,
use your bonus action to like dodge or something like that?
Yes, that would
All right.
probably be preferable because he's going to come up next to me, isn't he?
He sure is, yeah. All right, so you have the dodge action going. All right, Maeve, it is your turn.
It is my turn. Okay. Well, I'm gonna shout to Roz, go get your girl, and then she's gonna focus on the Sahagin. So, am I within melee distance of the Sahagin or range distance? It's just kind of
I would say since he's climbing up the edge of the ship, you can basically go up and like sort of stand, like look down at him, and I'll even give you advantage since you're literally shooting right down into him.
Perfect. Then we're gonna do that then. Okay, so I don't need to cast Sever Strike. Perfect. Let me see. Do I want to? That's so annoying. Oh no. Okay. Sorry. Brain catching up. Okay. So I am going to make my attack. Let's make the attack, Sarah. Let's go. Sorry, it's taking a while to load, so I can't see what it is.
30 hits.
30 hits. Perfect. I'm going to attach. Where are you? Favorite foe. Where are you? Okay, favorite foe attached to it. And I will also attach luster as well, actually. So, damage, Sarah. Okay, 3 dice rolls. 1, 2, and then where are you, babe? Where are you? Infusion. Fusion. 3. And he's on lightning form right now. So, if this would
Extra
load
lightning
for me.
damage.
Okay, lightning damage, yeah.
Yep.
So that is 22 damage on the first attack.
All right, 22 lightning damage on the Sahagin Baron. Yes.
And then I'm going to do another attack.
Yep, attack away as you send your first arrow down, buzzing with electricity. It sticks down into his clavicle, and he lets out some... you can infer is probably a curse word of some type in a language that you don't understand.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
Do you,
27.
Is it infernal?
it is not infernal.
Or sorry, is it abyssal? Sorry.
Yeah, we'll say it's abyssal.
Okay. What did he say?
Damn it. I can't speak
Basically, fuck, that hurts.
Why can't anything speak primordial? I can speak 6 languages. All right. 27 hits, you said. So I will then just do normal damage, which is 12 piercing damage. Natural
Alright.
piercing. And then, if nothing else, I'm gonna use my bonus action for Luster.
Okay.
So Luster is in his medium-sized boy form because he likes to fly. So I'll have him, I guess, do this to represent him flying down to scratch at him.
Yep, go for it.
Cool. All right, Luster boy, you got this. Do your bite. Did you hit? I can't
Not with
No,
a 12,
12.
unfortunately.
see it. Luster, why? Okay, he misses.
All right, so he goes down, tries to bite at him, and this thing's swinging at him with a trident, and Luster can't quite get in close enough to get a good chomp on him.
It's okay. All right, that is the end of my turn. I'll stay where I'm at.
All right, with that, we come to the priest's turn, who shouts out in common, "You have all been selected as sacrifices for the many eyes of the sea, Lord Ukatoa. This can go quick and painless, or slow and painful."
They always say that.
And what
I
is
don't.
he
We
gonna
didn't
do?
sign up for this.
Can I make a religion check?
Yeah, go ahead and make a
Okay.
religion check.
I get +5, so it's not nothing.
I will
nice.
say that you have a bit of cursory knowledge that you may have came across in your time at the Cobalt Soul when you were in Port Damali,
Yeah.
where the name Ukatoa, it's nothing like you researched yourself, but just,
Yeah.
kind of came across it vaguely for a minute, and Ukatoa was essentially kind of a servant to one of the gods. And when they were imprisoned, he basically kind of existed as a demigod, more or less, and was essentially sealed away at some point following the calamity. But there are several cults that follow and worship him.
Just a water cult.
no big deal.
No big deal. I like Leo being like, that's actually really nice that
Yeah.
we're going to feast sacrifice.
Comparison to our normal threats that we get. Yeah, that's actually quite nice.
Sacrifice for greater good for these people. That's nice.
Hermia, it points at you, and you hear just sort of echoing in your mind, "Swim." And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this like a charmed
Ooh.
effect?
Ooh,
God.
is command a charm effect?
I think it is. I could be wrong, though. I thought that protected
I
against
thought it
that.
was, but I don't know.
It doesn't say anything about charm within it.
That's
Nope,
annoying.
it's just tagged as a control spell, it looks
Oh,
like.
God. Command us to go in the water to kill
Oh, I
ourselves?
got a nat
That's weird.
20, so it doesn't matter.
It sure doesn't matter, unfortunately. All right. Well, that's his action. When he realizes though that it's not affecting you, he looks a little bit angry about it. On Corey's turn. Oh, I know I forgot. So I need to have Corey's character sheet up. Corey does not have Dimension Door, or else she would have just brought her and Leaf right up to the top. Let's see what she has. Warlock should always have Dimension Door. Okay. So Corey looks at you, Leaf, and goes, "All right, we should probably get up there. Do you have a fast way to do so?"
Oh. I don't.
Okay, well, see you when you get up there, I guess. And
Hey.
she's going to
Oh, well.
use Misty Step. At 3rd level. Wait.
Yeah.
All right, she's a warlock, so it's always just up.
Always
or
at
whatever.
third level.
Yeah. All right, so and Corey Blump appears up top. Whoa! I stretched her out. Appears up top and goes, "What's going on? What are we doing? Are we killing something?"
Yeah, we're killing things.
And then she looks and goes, "Oh, Hermia's in danger!" And is going to Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
What level? You guys are... She gets 2 beams currently. So, that's a hit and a miss. So 1d10 force damage. Plus 5. So 14 to the first water elemental. And with that, it is water elementals' turns. What can they do, guys? Ooh, don't like that. They can slam and they can whelm.
Whelm.
Yeah.
What's a
Each
whelm?
creature in the elemental space must make a DC
Basically
15
makes a wave and tries to push you back.
saving throw. Oh. Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Let's see. 30 feet. 5.
At least you can't be whelmed twice.
Can you?
10. 15.
If I say it, it kind
Zana gets
Sounds
an
right.
opportunity attack, I guess, with her Dagger of Warning. And a 14 actually hits. All right, good job, Zana. All 6 damage of it. And then it's going to move up into Maeve and Roz's space and is going to whelm. So if I could have both of you
Whelm.
make a strength saving throw, please.
+4 to you, Maeve.
Thank you.
Fuck you and your stupid auras.
I rolled a 2 for an 11, so.
All right, 17. Oh, my thing is a little broken. I'm gonna refresh the page.
So you got
I got 17.
it's
I
so
just,
weird that Maeve was the one to resist this, and
Yeah.
all right. So if that is the case, Rosalind, you are going to take some bludgeoning damage here. You take 15 bludgeoning damage.
We'll say that you kind of put yourself in the way.
Yeah, I jumped in the way and
Yeah.
put my shield up.
And you are now restrained inside of this thing.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Oh.
what Whelm does? I thought Whelm was a knockback.
Oh,
That's what I thought it was as well. No, yeah, basically if you fail this, you are grappled inside of it.
It's like that water bubble spell that Rialta has.
Yeah. Roz blinks as she is inside of it and is like,
You are restrained and unable to breathe unless you can breathe water, which you can.
which I
Wait,
can.
she can. So
I'm
Oh,
just breathing
cool.
the inside of this watermelon like,
Yep, but you are still restrained. You can attempt to escape on your turn by beating the grapple DC, though. It's too bad it doesn't have any more movement, or it could just jump in the water.
oh, jeez.
The other one is just going to slam Hermia twice. You ready to get
Why?
slammed down big style?
Disadvantage.
Yes. Oh, you're lucky. That was a nat 20. Does 17 hit?
No.
All right, second
Let's say
attack.
That doesn't hit me, so I don't think it hits you.
Another 17. So both of its slam attacks miss. It should have just whelmed you. All right, so with that, it is the crew's turn. And Captain
Every
Bright
time he
Eyes
says
go.
whelmed, I just think of Young Justice. Why is nobody whelmed? Everyone's always overwhelmed.
everyone's always overwhelmed. No
or
one's just
underwhelmed.
normally
no
whelmed.
one's just
No,
whelmed. Thanks,
whelmed
Robin.
is your default setting. If you're not under or overwhelmed, you're just normal whelmed. No one's
It
no
just-
one's like, I'm
yeah.
whelmed. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just-
Captain
it's-
You
Bright
say you're
Eyes.
fine, so now you can just say I'm whelmed.
Yeah, Captain Bright Eyes is gonna run and jump down over here and land right here. And as she's going in and like running, all you hear is, "Not even one day on the season, we're already being sacrificed to a cult."
That's the danger.
First mate Flowers looks over to you, Leo, and says, "You all got this?"
Yeah, we're fine. Just get to safety.
15, 20. And she's gonna jump down and go in as well. And Hermia, as the
out.
door slams, you hear it lock.
Oh, okay.
Winston up top is gonna take out his old bow and take a shot down at the water elemental. We'll give him advantage. It's a good
Winston
thing
isn't
too.
afraid because Winston's already drunk.
Wait,
Yeah.
he's also
Winston
up in
is
the
80.
crow's nest. So
Yeah.
like he'd just fall trying to get down.
No, I don't even think it matters. I think Winston is 83, already drunk. He's been drinking since the sun came up, and he's not afraid. Like, this is bullshit. He's like, y'all turn off my wind.
Whoops.
Fuck you, kids.
Sounds about right.
So his
He
arrow
has
does.
no patience.
Oh shit! So his arrow does hit, and I'm gonna roll at disadvantage to see if it also hits Roz inside the water elemental.
God. Oh no, I'm sorry. Roz.
17 doesn't hit, does it?
I don't have my armor on, so it does.
Okay, so you take we'll say it halves it, so you take 3 points of piercing damage.
Okay, that's not
As an
bad.
arrow like shoots in and then like hits you in.
Yeah. And Roz just looks up like, ow. All
Winston-
Winston
Winston kind of squints. Oh shit, that lady's in there.
That lady, I was up
lady.
all night drinking with him. He doesn't even remember my name.
It was drunk. Hermia, it's your turn.
I will bonus action. Action. Wow, I'm in a bad spot because there's a priest there. Fuck it. I'll just bonus action hex and attack the water elemental.
All right, Hex in the water elemental. Bloop. All right, go ahead and attack.
Oops. Dropped it. The first one is 19,
A 19 will hit.
and then the second one is does a where'd it go? Yeah, there's a I got a it's a plus 10s and I got a 10, so not nat 20.
Yeah, that hits. That hits.
Gotcha. Okay. Damage. Oh, that was poopy. 9 and better. 12.
12 total.
And, no, a 9 and a 12, and on my
Okay.
hex 5.
All right. Was that both attacks?
Yeah, 9,
Okay.
12, 5.
All right. Did you want to move at all?
No.
All right, Leaf, it is your turn, and you are
Oh.
downstairs by yourself.
So, question:
Mm-hmm.
how does this boat work? Like, how do I get to the main
So
deck?
this
There's
would take you up a floor.
Ladder right here. To get up to the main deck, it would take you, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We'll say that 30 feet will get you to the top deck, and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So basically 60 feet of movement will get you outside on the main deck if you're moving normal.
Yeah, it goes from put your hand a line. It goes from here to there.
And it's 10 feet of movement per deck, basically. If you wanted to like wild shape into something, I'll say that there are like windows, like portcullises down here that you could fly out and like up top.
Oh, that's
The fact that the hold is to the left of the lower deck is infuriating.
yeah.
The hold is the bottom.
Oh yeah, I probably fucked that up. My bad.
It's so confusing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can actually fix that.
You gonna just swap them real quick?
Yeah, that makes
Whoops.
sense. Don't forget to move the sausages.
And the bedroom.
Yeah.
The oops. Shit, get out of here, leave.
Eh.
So you're there. Spicy Tabby's down here. Kayru's down
God, it's
here.
even worse than I thought. Okay, fine.
So it's technically less movement now. Because you'd only have to go up 10. So 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. So 30 feet would get you there. But again, going out like in like a wild shape form would get you up top, but you'd also be in a wild shape form.
Can we say that there's a window up this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, Leaf is going to telepathically say to Corey, this one may not be able to teleport, but it can definitely fly. And Leaf is going to take a bonus action to go into the starry form of a dragon, specifically Luster. And in this form, I can hover and have a flying speed of 20 feet.
What size creature are you in this form?
No, same size. It's still medium.
So you're still a medium? Make an acrobatics check for me. It's not a big window.
Okay.
DC 13 to fit out the window.
Inspiration!
There you go, 22.
Fair enough.
Damn. Wow, you really rolled a 1?
Yeah, DC
Yeah,
13
a 1 and a
rolls
20.
a 1.
And a 20.
So Leaf, you run towards the window and like dive and then transform mid-air and kind of hit the top of the window as you transform and fall back, but are able to like reorient yourself and slip out the window and fly outside.
Nice. Okay, so in that form, now that's a bonus action, so I can still do an action. And is this Sahagoan Baron? Is he like climbing on the deck?
Yeah, so
climbing on the side?
you basically come out like right like just underneath him. In fact, because you got the nat 22, we'll say that you avoid an opportunity attack from the giant shark, which you being down there, you get the best look at, especially with your high passive perception. You see that this shark is like a skeleton, like an undead skeleton shark, and is like thrashing above the water and like slamming against the boat.
Is it? Are we gonna have to kill those things?
Who knows?
But
yeah, it's basically like underneath the Sahagin here.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask a question.
Of course.
Request of you. Can I, or can you, right-click on the water elemental and send them to the back?
So that we can see the
Yes.
tokens above it.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yep.
And maybe, I guess, put a symbol on Roz that
Yeah,
she's inside of
Roz
it.
is
I was bubbled.
currently being vored.
Yeah, oh, no. No.
Ew, what the
We are
hell?
not. I'm just saying you're going to get kicked off your channel for having pornographic material on here.
It's not pornographic vor.
Good.
Is
Fuck.
there
life.
any other kind? I guess so, but still.
It's just technically she's inside
so
it.
Educational.
Isn't it just called like eating? Being eaten?
La 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 la.
Yeah, kind of.
Can Leaf
Sorry.
move to a position to where it can see the water elemental?
Yeah. Do you not want to be on the ship since you're flying?
Yes. I do.
Okay.
Oh, actually, can I? Yeah, I want to be on the ship.
You do. Okay.
Yes. Is that possible or no?
It is. It's basically like your movement is basically 5, 10, 20. You just need to be able to see the water elemental.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you want to avoid being swung at by the Baron, we're going to say you come here. And you can get like right here, and you're basically kind of just hovering just on top of the deck next to Corey.
Perfect. And that thing does swing at me?
No. You were able to avoid it.
Oh, okay. In that case, I am going to cast dumb. Oh, I am dumb. Okay.
Am I dumb? Oh, I am.
DM's Bane, aka a polymorph on the water element.
All does that work with something inside of it?
I feel like it would just skirt him. Her.
Just spit her out, I guess. All right, what's the DC?
18.
Oh, it's cocked. It's a natural 20. So you focus and cast your polymorph magic on it, and you watch as like it kind of like ripples and like shakes and shapes in an odd way, but you can't seem to get the magic to affect it.
Okay. My turn is over.
All right, next up are the giant skeletal sharks, and since they can't attack anyone else, they're just going to smash against the ship. Now, here's the interesting thing is that your ship has a damage threshold. So in order to do damage, they have to do at least 15 for it to actually be done.
I see.
AC of the hull is 15, so here's 2 bite attacks. That is a 19 plus 9 and an 8 plus 9, so both of them hit. And they do 3d10 damage.
Ooh, what's our HP for our ship?
500.
So the first one is 11, 12, 13. So the first one smashes... Oh, wait. 13 plus 6. 19.
Why do you want us to be sunken?
So I will keep track of your HP since there isn't an HP bar for the ship yet.
Okay.
So 19 damage so far. The second one... Yeah, that's going to be 16 plus 6 is 22 plus 7 is 35. So
That's
yeah,
our boat.
They're starting to eat into it, to smash into it, and between battles and days, you can obviously help repair your ship a little bit.
Fuck that. Roz is pissed.
It is currently taken 54 damage, and you feel when these things smash into the boat, like you feel it rock. All right.
All right. Well, I was going to go murder that priest, but fuck these sharks.
Well, you got to get out of the bubble first.
I got that covered.
Mm-hmm. It is now the Sahagin Baron's turn, so it is going to climb up the rest of the way. We'll say that Luster
Everyone
will
gets
take
to go before me.
an
I'm
opportunity
sorry.
attack.
I understand how you feel.
Does Luster want to take an opportunity attack?
Yes, he
No,
does.
you know what? She gets like 35 as Ember on Fridays for initiative rolls. It's fine.
Yeah,
That's why I
true.
built Ember that way. She is like the catharsis for Rosalind.
Mhm. Does Luster want to make an opportunity attack against this Baron?
He does. He's doing it. Ah, damn it, Luster!
No, sorry,
Why'd you
Luster.
roll 12 again? He failed.
Luster doesn't like
all
seafood.
He loves fish, though. We established that.
All right,
Yeah,
so
but
as
not
this
a Sahuagin.
As this Sahagin Baron comes up and sees you, Maeve, he smiles, this wicked, gnarly smile.
Ew.
And he is going to use one of his attacks to attempt to grapple you. So I need an opposed athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Okay, I think I'm trained in athletics, but my acrobatics is higher. So
Not trained, so it's just going to be a d20 plus his strength.
We'll do acrobatics because that's higher than athletics. Why did I
Okay.
train in athletics? Okay. 21.
All right, so he reaches out with one of his hands to try to grab you, and you're able to, like, dodge off to the side. You know. Okay.
Not getting
right.
grappled today.
He's going to try and grab you one more time. Again.
Damn it. Okay.
All right, there we go. Unnatural 20.
Damn it. I was only just lucky the first time. 17.
All right. So this time he gets you like right around your neck and like starts to squeeze, and he picks you up
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
and he throws you into the water.
Oh, okay.
Ploosh,
Well, at least
and
I can
you
fly.
land right down next to the giant skeletal shark.
You trying to kill me, Ravi?
And then as he moves onto the boat a bit more, he has one more attack, which he will take against a restrained Rosalind. Actually, no. You know what? Corey's right there, and she's a small little target. Sorry, Corey.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, yep. That's an 18 plus 9 for the trident attack. which it's using two-handed. So 2d8 plus 4 damage. That is 12 plus 4 is 16 damage to Corey. What's her HP? It should be 77. Oh, it is.
That's right. Yes.
Wasn't.
I do have a swimming speed, guys. We're gonna be okay. I thought I did.
So you all hear Corey shout out in pain as she is speared with this trident. I think that's it. Yep. All right. So that's that one. Lloyd, this one pops up onto the ship with you, and he's going to do the same thing
Who's
and attempt.
Lloyd?
Leo is going
Sorry.
to attempt to grab you. So athletics or acrobatics against his. Oh, that was only an 8.
I rolled 12.
Okay. He's just gonna claw you and trident you then. Fuck it. All right, claw
What does
attack.
dodge do then?
He gets disadvantage on his attacks, which that was a 4 anyway, so it was gonna miss. So his trident attack is 11 plus 7. Does an 18 hit?
I'm going to invoke for the first time my parry attack.
All right. So, as he lunges towards you with your trident, you put up your arms to try and just shield yourself from this. And unfortunately, nobody else sees this, but a fiery shield erupts from the tridents in the shape of the wings of a phoenix and deflect his attack back away from you.
Dope.
Rosalind, it is your turn.
Wait.
Yes?
Does that give me an opportunity attack? Can I do that?
Does it?
Where
That's
are
what
the-
a parry is, right?
I think so.
Well,
I'm
that would be a
trying to find
repost,
in my
but
invent-
it might say.
I
on
think
there
that's
that you
what
do.
his
Mhm.
gauntlets do, yeah, or his bracers.
Well, double check and let me know, and we'll get back to that. Rosalind.
Rosalind's super pissed off because she likes this boat. And Maeve
and
just got thrown
also
in the water.
Yeah, I was gonna
Fuck
say,
that.
and Maeve got thrown in the water, and
Yeah,
Corey got
fuck that.
speared.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks, Roz.
We
Roz
don't
is-
like Corey anymore.
Roz is just more concerned about the boat.
Okay.
Roz's hair shimmers for a moment, and she suddenly poofs as she misty steps, invoking her Fey
Aw.
ancestry.
That's lame.
And
What do
she's
you
going to
mean?
appear above the shark, and she's going to stab the shark.
Oh.
Fuck you,
Which
shark.
shark? Oh, you're that shark.
Sorry, yeah, I moved under the
Oh,
shark.
hold on, I'll send him to the
Yeah.
back so you can. All right, so you fall down on the shark, and yeah. Okay, so since you're falling down onto him, I will let you make this first attack at advantage.
Yeah.
But otherwise, trying to wield a melee weapon in water will be at disadvantage.
So that's a 10 and a 22 to hit.
22 hits.
She'll pump a second level divine smite into it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Is this thing
is
a
it is
fiend or
an
undead?
It is an undead.
All right. So we're gonna do 1d8 for damage, plus 1d6 for damage, plus second level normally 3d8, but it's 4d8 because of undead. Wow.
Wow.
3-1. Way to go, Roz.
All right.
15.
Calicor.
Yeah, 4. It's gonna be 4. Oh wait, sorry. Plus my actual just damage. Plus 8 total. So it's gonna be 23 total damage, 12 slashing, and 1, 2,
Yep.
5, 10, 11 radiant.
All right, so as you land on it and plunge your sword down into it and throw off a divine smite, you're not sure why, if it's the weird magic that seems to be somehow dampening the natural order of the world around you, or if it's something to do with the shark itself, but maybe being in the water, but just something about that divine smite just didn't quite go off the way you were hoping it would.
All right. She's gonna stab it again.
Yep, this time it'll be with disadvantage as you fall into the water next to Maeve.
I'll spend inspo to make it a
You
regular
roll?
attack.
Sure.
I should have Hexblade's Curse. That would have been a crit. It's a 29 though to hit.
29 hits. Yep.
We'll spend a 3rd level spell slot this time. So second verse, same as the first, except now it's 5d8.
It's a little bit better.
So it's going to be instead 33 damage.
All right. That one feels a little bit better this time.
A little more.
Yeah.
And she's just going to like leave the blade plunge in there and just try to hang on, knowing this thing's probably not just going to let it ride her.
Fair enough, because if you do fall off of it or if it shakes you loose, you are in the water wearing heavy armor.
I'm not wearing
She's
my
not
armor.
wearing
I made that
You
clear.
aren't. Right. Sorry. You aren't wearing armor. Right. Okay.
Your AC sucks.
But she is trying. That's why my AC is not as good as it normally is.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you a free grapple check here, essentially, which normally you'd have to do. So go ahead and just make
Sure.
athletics check versus its athletics. Ooh, we're gonna need a good one.
I got a good one. How about 27?
You got 25. So yeah, almost shakes you off, but luckily
Yeah.
you
buries Radiant Sister in it, is hanging on for dear life.
There's not a whole lot of flesh on this. There's a little bit, but you managed to get this like lodged and like weaved in between a few like ribs, basically. All right, it's back around to Zana's turn, and she
Can I
sees
make
this...
that attack real quick, though?
Yes, yep, go ahead and make your attack.
It was 18 plus 9 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
There's the damage, and I was going to ask, since it gives me advantage, do I get sneak attack on this also?
If it gives you advantage on the attack, then yes, you can do sneak attack.
Dope. Then I'm just going to hit that right there. So plus 13 damage on top of a 9.
All right, you
and
got it. So
6.
as those phoenix flames, that shield of fire vanishes, and you pull your arms away and see him kind of like holding his trident up, trying to shield himself from those flames, you see an opportunity attack, essentially, and dash forward and sink your dagger into his abdomen before pulling back and ready for the next one. All right, Zana's turn. She is going to see this priest over here, who is still just kind of like going on, like after he tried to command Hermia, is like, the great Lord Ukatoa consumes all from the sea, and is just like preaching doomspeak to all of you. And she's just going to aim her pepper box at him and is just like, shut the fuck up, and will fire twice at him.
Appreciate it.
The first one hits. The second one, she's going to use her clockwork amulet that Hermia gave her to make that a 10, and that'll hit as well. Otherwise, it would have been a misfire. And that does 2d10 plus 5. So she does 10, 17, 18, 19 damage to him if he's not immune to... Yep, not immune to anything. So 19 damage as you all hear the telltale signs of firearms going off.
Very
Leo.
safe inside a boat.
Back around to you.
All right, since my jug plan's not going to work, since he's right here now.
I mean, you could still try to set him on fire if you want to.
Push him off the boat before it starts a flaming. Because that
I'm not strong enough to push him off the boat,
Again,
though.
since it's just a quart, it's not going to like set the boat on fire as well, unless things just go really, really badly. But this is essentially just like if you were to like, you know, throw a Molotov cocktail on somebody real quick, like then they go running off flame. They don't catch everything on fire around them unless it's extremely flammable. So if you wanted to throw the oil on him and then set him on fire, he would take an ongoing fire damage every turn.
I might do that next turn after I stab him twice.
Yep. All right. Go ahead. Just regular attacks. You have no one here giving you advantage currently.
All right, first attack, 13 plus 9.
That'll hit.
And I'm just going to do my offhand with the Venom Dagger now also.
Sure.
So that is 16 plus 10 to hit.
That just hits. Oh wait, 16 plus 10. Yes, that hits. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
thinking 10 plus 6 for some reason.
Okay, so That is 7 piercing damage and 4 fire damage for that.
Okay.
And I didn't use an action to pull out the poison, so it's just going to be straight damage. So 7 damage for the offhand.
All right. He's looking pretty hurt after these few attacks that you pumped into him pretty quickly. Sorry. He said 10 plus 16, Dolvik, and I heard 10 plus 6.
Oh.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage.
You used your bonus action to do the offhand attack.
That was my reaction, wasn't it?
No, that's your bonus action. Reaction is something you do in reaction to something. So like an opportunity attack would take your
Oh, the
reaction.
offhand attack. I was thinking, yeah, never mind.
If you want to take
Understandable.
back the offhand attack and disengage to run off instead, you can do that.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use dodge again for my bonus action.
You used your bonus action to attack with your offhand.
Oh, yeah, you can have it.
Oh, god damn it.
I don't think I can.
Do you want to take your...
Yeah, I'm
Offhand and
fine.
use-
Like,
But
no,
you- Okay.
I was just misremembering how I use shit, and
Okay,
I'm
no
totally
problem.
wrong. So yeah, my turn's over. I'm being a dumbass.
All right, cool. Maeve, it is your turn.
Maeve is looking at Roz and Corey and being like, they got rings of water walking. Too
Well,
bad
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so she does have a swim speed, but she's in this guy's threat range, so she
Sure
will
is.
cast Zephyr Strike.
No! Let me hit you!
Listen, ranges don't get much, okay? It's like the one spell we get that's worth anything. And it's a weird fucking spell. Why do you want to hit me so bad? Okay.
Because that's what I do. I'm the DM.
All right. I'm trying to. So is this like is the main deck what we're saying is the boat, like where the boat is in comparison to like where the
I would
sharks are?
say that the lower deck is like the level that you're at.
Okay.
But just so that everything isn't like piled on top of each other right now. So you're technically also here and also like here as well. But
Oh, so I am close to the boat then.
yeah,
You're right next to it.
you are right next to the
Okay.
boat. Yep.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about. So, I probably not gonna be able to use my bow at all in the water, so I need to get out.
You could.
Okay.
It would just be at disadvantage.
It's not bad. My odds are not the worst with disadvantage. She is gonna move at least a little away.
I was gonna say, what's your speed with Zephyr Strike?
So I don't get the speed yet. I have to attack first, which is
Gotcha.
normally with advantage, so it's actually just gonna be a normal
Yep.
roll. But if I hit with Zephyr Strike, or actually it doesn't matter if I hit or miss.
Yep.
It increases
we'll say
by
that you
3
have
feet.
you have to climb 20 feet to get to 25 feet to get to the top of the deck.
My climb and swim speed are the same as my normal
Yep.
speed, so that's good to know. So I moved just now 10 feet in
Yep.
swimming, so I will do attack with normal. Sorry if I hit you, Ross.
No worries. Roz already has an arrow sticking out of her shoulder.
29.
hits. Yep, that hits.
All right, and because Rangers suck, I no longer have favored foe up, so that's fine. And I can't get it up. So this plus Zephyr Strike force damage. Sorry, give me a second. And then
5.
so that's 19 damage on that attack.
Yep.
And I'll just try to attack one more time at disadvantage, and then I'll get moving.
Okay.
Okay, 19.
19 still hits.
Awesome. 14 damage on that attack.
All right.
And then I'm going to try to climb the boat.
Yep. Now how much does Zephyr Strike give you additional speed?
Yes, it gives me plus 30 feet.
Okay, so then that means you still have 50 feet of movement, and it takes 25 to get back up on deck.
Perfect. So I'm going to do that. So wherever I end up being, I will be.
All right, so if you just want to head up, so we'll say you've used 10, 15, and then 25 to get back up puts you at, I think, 50, if I did that right.
Cool.
10,
And then
15, 35. No, sorry, 40. So you have 20 feet of movement left.
I still have Zephyr Strike active, so I could move because this place is freaking crowded. I think I'm gonna move. You said I had 20 feet left of movement?
Yep.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20.
Dolvik added a new quote. Rangers suck and I can't get it up. Maeve Sarascopic. I was thinking it, Dolvik. Thank you.
Oh, God. All right, I will move there, and I will bonus action. Once Lester sees I'm safe, he's like, okay, good. He's going to try to hit this freaking Sahagin again.
Yep, go ahead. Go for it.
Come on, buddy. Come on. Stop rolling 12s, please. 17!
17
Does that
hits. It does.
Yeah! Good boy.
Technically, he's flanking with Corey, so that's a 19.
Yay! Okay, so there's this, and then this. So that's ooh, max damage. So 10 piercing and 5 lightning.
All right, cool. So Luster finally gets up and chomps into this guy's shoulder, and he cries out with rage and tries to swipe back at poor little Luster.
Oh, he's not little right now. He's medium size.
He's a little compared to this guy.
Boy.
That's true. He is a little compared to this guy. Okay, end of my turn.
All right, the priest's turn. He's not happy about last turn. So he will move up behind Hermia and attempt to thunderous touch her.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage. So yeah, you look back over your shoulder and see this guy moving towards you, and his staff begins to crackle with electricity, and he jabs it towards you. All right, first one is a miss. I'm going to try it again. Fuck! Oh, if this hits, it does fucking 5d10 thunder damage.
Okay, so note to self, counter spell next
Oh,
time.
no, that's just a... Actually, I guess it is a spell attack. Anyway, he misses both turns, and I'm really mad about it. So on Corey's turn, Corey's not feeling great about this, and she's gonna turn around and grab Leaf and go, okay, bud, now we're getting out of here. And she is going to use Thunder Step, and is going to teleport with Leaf this way across the ship. Whoop, to be safe. And it doesn't hit Winston because he's too high up, but it will hit the Sahagin and the water elemental. Hold on, what's the range on this? Each creature within 10 feet. Uh-oh. Okay, Maeve's out of range. So yeah, it hits the two bad guys. They have to make con saves. 18. Oh, no, they both fail. So that's going to do 5d10 thunder damage. I'm just going to roll it here.
Oh, shit.
Are they weak to thunder damage?
They're not weak to it, but they don't resist it.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't seem like they were weak to lightning, so I didn't think they'd be weak to
That's
thunder.
fair.
So they both take...
I always forget that thunder and lightning are different.
Yeah.
I know. I forget that, too, because I thought they got
Thunder
rid
is
of
just
that.
the noise.
I know, but like in
Yeah.
every other game that has thunder, it means lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon.
Right. Thunder.
Right.
Okay, well, what you mean is lightning,
Yeah.
though.
It's like, it does make sense for them to be different damage types because of how those things work, like booming, deafening
Right.
sound versus like a flash of lightning, but I do forget just because,
But we-
you know,
Already have force damage though.
I know, that's what I mean. We have
We
force,
do,
which would
yeah.
fit for that.
that's fair. That's fair. I guess I think of
Alright.
force more like pushing or like magnetism, because that's what it used to mean in 4E. It was kind of like a
Yeah.
magnetic power, not like a booming, loud power.
Oh, crap. Hold on. Let me pull some random cards here
Why?
to see if
For
she
Corey's
pulls
deck.
Joker.
Oh.
10. Oh, wait, this says 52. Damn it. I can't find, like, card simulators that also have the Joker in it.
Yeah, that's hard
Oh,
to
there
get.
we go. Include the Jokers.
It is amazing to me how often she has pulled the Joker in this game because, like, deck arrangements, like shuffling decks,
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous that.
the odds don't make any sense to me.
Yep. All right, she did not pull a Joker, so that's all that I'm concerned about. Water Elemental. Let's see if the one up on the bow gets its whelm back. It does. So it's going to come over. And actually, does it just want to slam you? Does it just want to slam you down big style?
It wants to have sex with Maeve.
What? Why is everything sex with me?
Big style means.
Yeah, it's just going to slam you down big style, Maeve.
Thanks. I think? No.
Whoopah!
Do not consent.
Oh, well, that's a natural 1. But the second one is a 23.
Is it against my AC?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, 23 hits.
That's going to be 12 bludgeoning damage as this thing smashes you.
Damn.
And then the other one will, at disadvantage... No, you know what? It couldn't hit you last time. It is going to whelm on Hermia. So, Hermia, I need you to make a athletics or acrobatics check, please.
You're feeling rather whelmed.
Fuck!
Hold on. Okay. Acrobatics.
Yep, or athletics, your choice.
16.
All right, well, that beats his 7, so good
Oh,
job.
thank God.
On the crew's turn, Winston is going to shoot at the Sahagin Baron. Oh, and hit it with a natural 20.
My dude.
So,
You're the
Maeve,
real hero.
as this thing is slamming down on you, you watch as an arrow hits the Sahagin Baron in the head, and it falls over the edge of the ship, splashing into the water. And he calls back, "Hey, how about that, Martha? I can show you how to shoot if you want me to sometime."
Who's Martha?
Maeve. Not Martha.
Hermia, it is your turn.
Zana, are you gonna kill this priest, or is he just gonna?
I'm working on it. Leaf,
Okay,
you're up next, by the way.
I'll keep hitting the water elemental then. 21.
That hits.
And does an 18 hit?
18 hits as well, yep.
Nice. Okay. That is... Or... Hold on. That is a 13.
13 damage.
And... Ooh, nice. 14.
Okay.
And a 4.
And a 4. All right. Every time that you swing your sword through this water elemental, you watch as the water seems to sort of darken and turn black before sort of boiling a bit, and the areas where you're slashing through just looks really unstable and like it's hard. It's getting difficult for it to hold its form together. End of your turn.
Yep.
All right, Leaf, it's your turn.
Okay. So. At the start of my turn, I can change what form I'm currently in.
Sure.
So it's everyone will see what is a luster leaf turn into a bow and arrow leaf. As Leaf takes on the arrow, Leaf is going to use its bonus action arrow attack on that Sahagin that's Leo's next to.
Okay.
Here it is. Does 14 hits?
The Sahagin, it does not, unfortunately.
Okay. That's fine. For Leaf's action, Leaf will target the water, the big sharky boy in the water down there.
Sure.
Going to cast Confusion on it.
Interesting.
Make a Wisdom saving throw, not a
Okay.
Charm.
16 plus 0 is 16.
Does not beat 18, so it is fused.
All right. Does it make that at the start of each of its turns? Okay. Oh my god. Sub sounds going off. Thank you,
Oh,
Sebo, for the tier 1. How much, or who would you like to give that inspiration to? Go ahead and pick one of the players here on the screen. All right. Each creature. All right. So an effect card taking reactions much will deacon at the start of each of its turns, determine its behavior, and then at the end of its turn, it makes a Wisdom saving throw to try and get rid of it. Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Ending your
And-
turn.
Not quite yet. Leaf is going to shout out to Leo. Sir Leo, do you need assistance
I
on
fell off the
gaining
fucking
advantage
map,
on
dude.
that horrible Baron?
Probably.
Leaf will say compliance, and will kind of walk over to here. And now turn is ended.
All right, turn has ended. All right, so on the shark's turn, rolls a d10 to see what it does. That is a 5. Doesn't move or take any actions this turn. Meanwhile, the one that Rosalind is on.
No one should be having this much fun riding a skeleton shark, but Roz is having a great time.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. It's going to start moving this way, and as it does, it is going to try to... You know how silly cats and dogs look when they try to reach back and bite at their own tails?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what's happening here.
It's going to try to do a nom on you.
At disadvantage, I assume, since I'm riding on it.
Sure.
It's basically grappled, isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
Grapple doesn't give
Doesn't give advantage, though.
It
yeah.
doesn't.
I always
Nope.
forget that.
No, restrained does.
Yeah, so it doesn't
Does
hit you
grapple do?
with the attacks, but since I did give you a free grapple, I'm going to give it a free chance to try to kick you off during its movement.
Seems fair.
So make a athletics check for me. Never mind.
Athletics.
No, it's fine. Unless you
Okay.
roll a natural 1, you stay
I
on.
rolled a 9.
You're trying.
It is a 8. So you know what? It was close. It was close. And here, actually, technically, we'll
Well, I guess I rolled a 10 because I rolled a 2 plus 8 for 10.
go over that way. All right. Well, that's
We
it.
go
for
under. We go under the boat.
No, these are going to be all the boats. I'm just putting you on the right side of it because you do
Oh,
notice
gotcha.
that this shark does seem to be heading over towards the other shark.
Yeah. Like, hey, can you get this off of me?
Let's see. The Baron's turn. All right, he's not going to fuck around this time. He's going to go ahead and use his 3 attacks, and as he sees this shiny druidy thingy coming up behind him, he knows magic when he sees it, and magic is bad news.
Bad news
So
bears.
he's going to use all 3 attacks on you. So first attack is a nom attack.
Nom, 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 nom.
Does a dirty 20 hit, Juxta?
From a Sahagin.
Yep.
It could.
It could. Are you going to wheel or woe it?
Oh, I'm gonna silvery barbs it.
So he just re-rolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he rerolls.
Now, does he...
And
Does
it has
Sorry,
to
is
take
Silvery
lower.
Barbs the lowest or the new roll?
Has to take lowest, I think.
Silver barbs take the lower.
Okay, well, that second one was higher, so it
No.
still hits.
That's fortunate.
Oh, it's never happened before.
Leo, you get advantage.
You take 11 piercing damage, Leaf.
Ow.
And now, thanks to Blood Frenzy, he gets advantage on his melee attack rolls against you for Claws and Trident. Actually, he's going to use two Trident attacks against you. So first one, bitch, is a 5 and a 2. So I'm
That's
going
a
to
miss.
assume that 13 misses.
Yes, miss.
What about a natural 20?
That's also a miss.
He's going to hit you, though.
I'm going to use my Gato ability to say no.
Okay, well, he's going to get you with 4d8.
All right.
So that's 11, 12, 19, 23 piercing damage.
Okay.
And that's the end of his attack. Rosalind, it's your turn.
Yup. Yeah. All right. I need as this shark has completed my master plan and brought me over to its ally. I need
What?
What?
Roz is going to basically hook an arm around like the exposed bone of this shark and pull Radiant Sister out and hold it up, and she's going to use the Changebringer's trick on the other shark.
God, what?
No, actually, she'll use it on this shark.
Okay.
It needs
read
to
the
make a
change
wisdom
to me
save.
again.
Once per day as a bonus action, you can use Influence of Evander to try and trick an enemy into seeing you as an ally and its friends as foes. One creature of your choosing that you can see within 30 feet must make a wisdom save against your spell save DC. The effect lasts for 1 minute until someone sees as an ally deals damage to it. If it succeeds on the saving throw, it is marked by you and must roll at disadvantage if it attacks any other creature. The effect lasts for 1 minute.
All right, wisdom save. What's your DC?
My spell save DC is 17
All right, so it needs a 17, 18, 19, or 20.
with its +0 wisdom.
It rolled a 15.
All right, so this shark that I am riding now thinks that I am its best friend.
Yep. All right.
Now you have a mount.
Yeah, she's got a skeleton shark mount. And then she's going to hold her hand out, and she is going to cast Eldritch Blast on the other one.
Go for it.
Oh boy.
That's an 11 for the first blast,
11
and
misses,
a
unfortunately.
24 for the second blast.
That hits.
For 1 force damage.
Woo!
Nice. Does dealing damage to a confused creature do anything to it, Chris, or no?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Wait, at what level are we? We're 10. We should have 2 Eldritch Blasts.
I know, I missed the first one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I rolled an 11.
It's rolled
Alright.
2.
End of
Wow.
your turn. End of
Okay.
your turn, then.
Yep, that's it for me.
All right. On Zana's turn, she will use a grit for each of her attacks and put sharpshooter into it as she's shooting this priest. Ooh. That might miss. So it would normally be 21 minus 5 is 16. No, that hit still. And then the second one is a natural 20.
Yeah.
So that is 25 for the first one. Oh no, this priest is about to get fucked up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, whoop, I just rolled my fucking d20s again. Sorry, that's not the right one. Here we go. It is 11, 21, 26. And then she will action surge. And that hits. So Hermia, shortly after asking, "Are you going to finish this thing off or what?" And then she goes, "I'm working on it." Suddenly you hear bam, 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 and you feel the back of your head and like your cloak and your body just get covered with like blood and viscera, and like some of it splashes into the water elemental as well. And then you hear, "It's dead." And then
thanks.
she... Does water elementals take reduced damage? It does. She's like, when are you going to kill that water elemental?
I don't know.
And she's going to run up here towards this other Sahagan Baron for her second attack, which hits as well for 15 damage. You hear another blast from behind you, Lloyd, and see just a big chunk of this thing's chest just explode. And it is your turn.
All right, I will just.
So upset that priest didn't get to do anything cool. He did literally nothing.
Sorry.
I think.
I'll tell you a story about a dread demon sometime.
How bad does he look in front of me?
He's not looking good. He's not looking good.
All right, then I'll take my advantage and does a 17 plus 9 hit.
It does.
That is 2 plus 5 for the piercing damage, 7 piercing damage, 5 fire damage, and this amount in sneak attack.
Yeah. How do you want to do this, Lloyd?
Since I'm probably going to be diving into the water after that, I kind of want to put both my daggers into his shoulder blades and kind of like launch myself over him and then dive into the water to go after the skeletal shark.
All right, so you jump on him, putting one dagger into each shoulder and planting your feet on his chest. And the force of that sends him tumbling back as he dies. And as he's tumbling over the edge of the ship, you pull your daggers free, jump off of his chest into a dive, and ploosh into the water.
Leo, you see Rosalind riding a giant skeleton shark like she's riding a bull, and all you can think to yourself is about that time you two had to talk about her taking better care of her body.
Hey, at least she's on the shark and not in the shark.
Yeah, I mean, this is really a step up for her.
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
improvement.
Anything else, Leo?
What is this shark looking at?
It's kind of just sitting there. It's not really like looking at anything, and it doesn't really have eyes, so it's kind of hard to tell, but it kind of just seems to be like floating in the water there.
Okay, so if it's not doing anything, I'm just gonna like swim up to it.
Sure. All right. Maeve, your turn.
All right. Sorry, just looking at the spell to see 10 feet.
You hear Winston yells down, "Shoot it in the eyes!
What eyes?
The one that sees with!"
Sorry, I just need to. There's a spell I can do, and I'm just trying to see how bad that will screw people over with.
Remember, Winston's like 30 feet in the air, so it's not going to hit him.
Okay, perfect. And down here, it's not going to hit anybody where my arrow is? Besides
No.
me, I mean.
Nope.
Yeah, there's no one there.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Just so you know, I am doing if this is a really bad idea, I would probably not do this idea. But she still has Zephyr Strike up, so she still doesn't have to deal with that. So she's gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, I guess 30. Okay. So I think she's going to drop Zephyr Strike to cast because I think I have to do that. Is this a concentration spell? Fuck, is this a concentration spell? There's no reason for this to be a concentration spell.
That's actually the motto of D&D 5e. Why the fuck is this a concentration spell?
Yeah,
I
what
actually
spell
don't know
is it?
why. Lightning arrow. I genuinely don't know why. What does it do the next time? Because it only does that once.
That's why, because it's the next time you do something, so you have to hold the concentration until you use it.
Fucking A. I would rather it just said this attack. That way I could have a concentration spell. Sorry, I'm just mad again. Okay. So I will cast Lightning Arrow.
Okay.
And so here I will just cast it so it will go on there so you can see what it does so that we're on the same page.
Yeah, because when you Google
Oops,
Lightning
sorry.
Arrow D&D Beyond, you would think it would want to show you the spell, but instead it shows you every time it's ever been mentioned in the forums first.
Sorry, I didn't show it, but here's
that's
the
fine.
text.
The next
Okay.
time you make a ranged attack weapon during the spell's duration, the weapon's animation or blah 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 blah
It's
blah.
about lightning. Takes 48 or half on a miss. Whether you hit or miss, each creature within 10 feet of the target must
Yeah,
make
that's
a dex.
really stupid. That's a concentration spell. All right, cool.
Right? Thank you. Anyway,
All right,
I could
so
basically I'm trying to hit it like here so that it just hits him, if that makes sense.
yeah. So make the attack roll
Okay.
as normal. So go ahead and make your
Yep.
attack roll.
Yep. I am gonna spend inspo if this misses. Just 17 hit.
17 hits. Yep.
Oh, thank God.
So
All right, so
target
then I'm gonna
takes- So yeah, do your normal damage, then 4d8 lightning damage.
And I will also add Luster's damage on top of this too. So he will do
Okay, and then if
this.
anybody was nearby, then they would make a dex save.
Yes, and then
Gotcha.
I roll 4d8.
So 15
21.
and 21.
Oh, not bad roll. Good job.
Yeah, so you fire your lightning arrow into it and it electrocutes. You see it buzzing all over it, and it kind of like seems to have trouble holding a form together for a few seconds before it finally reorients its gaze on you, but you still see little crackles of electricity going through it.
I get one more attack, so I
Yep.
will do that as normal. 25.
25 hits.
11 damage, and I will just
Pew.
use my my one ability, the foe thing. I
Favored
can't
foe?
think of what it's called. Yeah, favored foe. So I get an extra 1d6.
Mhm.
Just trying to pop some damage.
Yep.
So that's 16 damage.
All right.
I
and you-
used a bonus action, so Luster can move, but I'll just have Luster kind of get close to him. But that's about it. He can't attack or anything.
All right.
So I use my bonus
Priest
action.
is dead. Back around to Corey. Looking down at the water elemental, she's going to hit it with 2 Eldritch Blasts. Oh, that's actually not great, Corey. She gets +10. So actually, no, you know what? They both hit. So that is 14 damage to Hermia's elemental and 7 damage to Hermia's elemental. And then she goes, "You got this, Hermia! Finish it off!" And on the elemental's turn, I'm going to see if it can recharge its whelm. It does not, so it's going to slam down big style with Hermia. You're lucky it's at disadvantage. That was a natural 20. Hermia, does a dirty 20 hit your AC?
Yeah.
All right. So that's 2d. So you get distracted when Corey yells at you to try and hype you up. And you take 14 bludgeoning damage. And then Corey goes, "Sorry!" And it's going to try to just swing at you normal now. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
All right. Second attack does 14 bludgeoning damage.
So what, the first one was 14, you
Yep.
said?
So 28 total.
Okay, and what was the second?
The second one was
14.
14 as well. So 28
Okay.
total from both attacks.
Okay.
All
got it.
right. Then the other one is gonna move up to here and try and whelm Maeve.
Thanks.
No, fuck it. It'll just slam down on you. Whoopah!
All right.
All right. So a 19 plus 7 hits, but the other
Yes.
one does not.
Okay.
So you are going
That's
to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh. Yeah.
Winston's turn. He'll shoot down at it.
Was he
Pew!
impressed with my lightning attacks? He better
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. He goes, "Martha, teach me how to do that."
My name's not Martha!
And he hits for 3 damage because he does not have a magic bow. Hermia, your turn. Leaf, you're on deck.
Yeah, I'll hit him.
Hit away. And then it'll be Roz's shark after that.
Roz wants to encourage Joan to go forward and attack the other shark.
You named your shark Joan, huh?
Well, that's just their short name. The full name is Joan of Shark.
God
The first
damn
one
it.
was a natural 20.
All right, so go ahead and roll 2d10 and double your hex dice. So 2d10, 2d6.
Oh, that was bad. Okay, so. Right. So, let me see. That was only
More like Jean de
14.
Requiem.
14
just
for
nice.
for the sword, and then 7 for the hex,
Okay,
and then I'll hit it again.
go for it. Do you roll a d8 with your hex?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would be 14 because your hex gets doubled as well on a crit.
Oh, okay. I did though. Wait,
How'd you
I'm
get
confused.
7?
You're confusing me. Okay,
Okay.
so what do I have to do? What did I have to do?
You crit, so that means you roll all dice on that attack twice.
Okay,
So-
yeah, I did. I rolled shitty.
Okay, because you said 14 for the sword,
Mhm.
and then you said 7 for the hex.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking that you doubled something to get the 7. So I'm like, what did you double to get 7? But you just rolled like a 3 and a 4. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
yeah.
go
way
ahead,
to make
do
me
your
feel
second attack.
bad. Like,
Do your second attack. I'm sorry. That was my bad.
it's a
You know I'm bad with
19 to
math.
hit,
19 hits. Yep.
and that is a 13 damage and a 1. 14.
All right. He has 2 HP left, so I'm going to give this to you. How do you want to do this?
I don't know. I just hit the shit out of it.
All right, so as you hit the shit out of it with Foamir and finally thrust once into it, you watch as all of the water in it just seems to freeze for a second and then just falls to the ground and like it's completely disenchanted or something and basically completely loses its form, hits the ground, half of it falling down off of the boat, some of it into like the lifeboat beside it. But the water elemental is defeated. And Corey goes, I knew you could do it, Hermia!
Thanks,
Roz, you'd be so
Corey.
proud! Leaf, it is your turn.
Okay. Leaf is going to use its look over the edge at its confused victim, and is going to use its bonus action arrow attack,
Mm-hmm.
archer attack. Sorry. 23 to hit.
That hits.
Aha! 18 points of radiant damage.
You got it.
And then Leaf is getting a little tired of all this fighting that's going on, so Leaf is going to use a guiding bolt at 4th level.
Oh.
19 to hit.
19 will hit.
Rah, dices. An additional 13. What? 13. An additional
13 total?
That
Oh
is
my
there are
God.
4 ones in that. There's a Cali core roll.
Yup. A 2, a 3. Oof.
A 4 is your highest number in
Yeah,
there.
you're right. Leaf was really tired during that guiding bolt.
That is painful.
That's
That's more like a guiding lob. You just kind of like,
Yeah.
Oh,
that
gosh.
feel when your guiding bolt 4th level spell does less damage than your bonus action throwaway attack.
Yeah.
All right. So is that the end of your turn?
Leaf is going to go ahead and move over to here and just kind of hold its hands up to Zana and Corey, waiting for the high five.
Oh. Corey high fives you. Zana looks at you confused and doesn't. On the giant skeletal shark's turn, Roz, as you kind of urge your shark forward towards the other one that Leo is now facing down, it kind of moves like a bit, but it seems to have like slowed some. And as you take a moment to like be like, what is going on? You watch as pieces of it just begin to slowly kind of float away, and the other ones also slowly just floating apart as you realize that both of them seem to have lost whatever magic was holding them together.
Oh.
And
Aw.
Maeve, you're able to easily, on your next turn, kill the water elemental as well.
Thanks.
And it seems that everything is now back to normal.
We're alive.
Maeve is just coughing up some water, trying to like
You hear
dry herself off.
you hear from over the edge, Joe, no!
Okay.
Captain Bright Eyes, the first mate, and the rest of the crew slowly come back up on deck once everything is okay. And the captain's like, well, that sucked. I'm not going to lie. Look, you're all fine, cool, upstanding folks and everything, but you have terrible luck, and I hate traveling with you.
Oh,
But
Is the money still
everything's-
good?
everything's fine now. We're good. Not every day you get attacked by Ukatoa cultists, but, you know, that was an experience, I guess.
Did the wind pick back up?
And yes, the wind has suddenly picked back up now, and the water's beginning to move again as you continue to sail now.
Fair enough.
Would you like to help? Who would like? Let's say who would like to help try and repair the boat, as it did sustain a little bit of damage.
I would help.
All right,
I would
I
feel
would
bad and
too,
want to
because
help.
it's my boat.
all right,
I feel
cool.
bad and want to help.
So
Yeah.
Rowdy Rachel is normally the boatswain. So you two offering to help her will definitely help things go a little bit better. So we're gonna have her do a check basically, which she's proficient in. And why don't each of you choose a? One of you can give her the help action, so she has advantage on it, and then the other one of you can choose a skill that you want to try and use to aid her, and that'll decide how much HP you restore to the boat.
Okay.
I have an argument to persuade, but
Depending on what you choose, if it makes sense, it'll be a lower DC. If it's something stupid, it'll be a higher DC. But technically, all of them could work in theory.
So I guess I'm sorry, these skills are not the best at explaining this, but it's the same role for me, so I'll try my best.
Okay.
Basically, either medicine or survival under this idea of can I use any knowledge related to those to kind of help know like where the best places to
No, yeah, you know what? I'll let you use survival. We'll
Okay.
say that, you know, spending time in the forest, especially out on hunts, you know, you don't always necessarily want to be down on the ground. And watching the way that she kind of has to go down there, she basically just puts like, you know, a few 2x4s together and then like rope on them and basically makes like a swing to sit down there. And you actually help her come up with basically a decent like harness that you usually make out of like vines in like rope and stuff like that helps you sit more comfortably up in trees, which helps with basically allowing her to like maneuver around, and there's less of a chance that she'll fall if like a big
Okay.
wave or something hits. So go ahead and make a survival check for me.
All right, I will do advantage if this doesn't work.
And
I'm doing advantage.
okay, yep, go for it.
Walk that. Sorry, one sec. Advantage.
Oh, Rachel.
Is that any better?
Okay, no, yeah,
13.
13's fine. That's enough. So
Better than
she rolled an 8. We'll say plus 6 for her proficiency and her stat, so a 14. So
Is
you
that
guys,
with that's with
that-
advantage?
She
Damn.
rolled an 8 and a 1. Yeah. So that will restore 28 HP of the boat's 54, and you guys can repeat this each day, basically.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
9, 10. All right. Leaf, could you please roll a D8 for me?
One.
A 1. I'm sorry. A D10, because you rolled a D8, didn't you, Callie?
Yeah, I rolled a 7 on a D8.
Yep, sorry, roll a D10.
7.
All right, both 7s are taken care of.
XP, right? Right.
Okay, yep.
Mhm.
So the rest of the day seems to be overall pretty uneventful. The weather stays clear. Maeve and Leo, you help Rachel finish up her work, and she lets you know that it'll probably take a bit longer tomorrow, but because it's starting to get a little bit dark, we'll wait and do it then. And then one of the riggings on the sail high up comes undone, which isn't a terrible thing. It's 10 minutes to replace. Rachel goes up and helps Winston so he doesn't fall and break his neck. Not really sure how something like that came loose, but, things happen. Eventually, you guys get ready to come down for dinner to find that Tabby's cussing up a storm and blaming Keiru for adding too much of something, and when asked what, she holds up an empty salt shaker. Apparently put the entire salt in there, but Keiru insists that it wasn't them that did it.
We have gremlins on board.
Does somebody want to make a investigation or a perception check?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody who isn't Rosalind. Someone who has eyes.
I mean, Leaf should definitely do it, but I'll help.
I shall look. You said perception?
23.
Okay. What'd you get, Leaf?
A 19. I rolled bad, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I rolled bad. As you begin looking around, wondering, like, Rosalind's just like, if we have fucking gremlins or something on this ship, I'm gonna be really upset. And as everyone begins looking around, someone heading down, looking in your cabins, finds that all of the blankets have been thrown out the window, and the window's been plugged up with the pillows.
Fucking gremlins, I'm telling you.
And Maeve, as you're looking around, and you find a few other things just like off here and there. And at one point, Maeve, you see popping their heads up from some of the portcullises. You notice some sea nymphs that are giggling and then disappearing and vanishing. And it seems you have a case of sea nymphs playing tricks and pranks on you.
We have sea nymphs that are having some fun with us.
Is that like gremlins?
Not.
First mate is like, I mean, it's not like gremlins.
Yeah. I mean, not the word I would use, but
yeah,
technically.
they're rare-ish. It happens.
What do you do?
They can be difficult to get rid of depending on how you deal with them. Best thing to do is to make an offering of some sort or give them something, or basically just try to ask them to leave essentially and give them a reason to not stay around, but not be mean about it, because they can also curse the ship.
Oh, great.
Some pretty stones, like some emeralds.
Can I try to use persuasion to appease the sea nymphs?
What would you like to say?
Do I see them?
No, but you once Maeve's like sort of pointed them out, you can occasionally just hear. You can occasionally just kind of hear like these little giggles that seem kind of ephemeral and just like all over the place, and then like a bottle or a can will like fall off a shelf and hit the ground.
Gotcha. Rosalind will attempt to be diplomatic. So she will say, it's like dealing with children. What do? Yeah, she just kind of calls out, all right, you've had your fun. There perhaps another game you'd all care to play?
The giggling goes silent. What game are you offering them?
Game. Does Roz have proficiency in any games?
Do you?
I don't know. I was checking to see if I do. Card set. Okay. Well, I don't feel like sea nymphs are gonna want to play cards a whole lot. Cards always get wet.
I've got a dragon chest set.
Let's see. Oh, I like B's suggestion in the chat. Hide and seek.
You hear the giggling again. Go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
So 13 plus 9 for 22.
You watch as 3 little sea nymphs appear in front of you, laughing and smiling before darting in 3 different directions and then vanishing after a few steps. Want to go ahead and make some perception or investigation checks, Roslyn?
Can we help
Roz
her?
could be at this for a bit.
Yeah.
Can we help her or no?
I'll let you give her the help action.
All right, I
Since
give you
she's
help
the one,
action.
since she's the one who wanted to play with them.
Yeah, that's fair.
I got a 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the next 30 minutes, all of the mischief seems to have ended, and eventually, Roz, you do find one of them hiding in one of the unused pots. And as you kind of open the lid, she pops up laughing and then holds her hands out.
Does she look like she's expecting to be given something?
Yeah, Spicy Tabby's kind of there next to you, and she goes, "Normally they take an offering of some kind, since we're sailing
Oh.
through their waters."
Oh, understood. Okay.
I can give you some gemstones. Whatever. you
Yeah,
want.
I'll give.
No diamonds.
Yeah, no, I'll give them. Didn't we have like a?
We've got emeralds, rubies, and multicolored cat eyes.
Yeah, I'll give her a cat's eye.
Okay. Once you put the cat's eye in her hand, she smiles, and the other 2 appear, and they seem to fly around you in like a pattern, little sort of, pixie dust type stuff kind of coming off of them, and you watch as it begins to float along and around the ship, and then each of them settle in front of you, look at you with a smile, and then shoot water into your face like a squirt gun, and vanish with a giggle and disappear. And everyone who is present here laughs.
Hope that was a blessing on the ship, not a curse.
The next 2 encounters, any skill checks you do, you will have advantage on.
Aw.
Oh, very nice. Roz has the blessing of the water nymphs.
So, with that, nightfall comes. Is there any sort of chatting or RPing? that
Roz
you
will
want-
use a
you wanted
mental
to do?
message to remind Zana that she wants a favor.
I was gonna go
she
look for Zana. So.
responds back to you. I'm upstairs on the deck. I want you to come up here and challenge me to a duel. Just like a training or something. But
What?
there is the blue diamond medallion that I wear on my jacket. During the fight, I want you to hit that with everything that you have. And I don't want you to ask any questions about it until afterwards.
Roz gets her armor on, and makes her way upstairs. And as she gets up, she starts just sparring and practicing herself a little bit for just a few minutes, and then finally glances over at Zana. Zana, I need some practice. You promised next time I wouldn't have to pay to go get myself beaten up. Now it's your chance to prove it.
She smiles as she turns towards you. All right. Let me at least change the ammo in my gun so you don't get hurt.
No, it's
And you don't have to worry. I don't expect that you could do much to me.
Roz gives all right, and stretches out and gets herself ready.
All right. Go ahead and roll initiative. You're not going to beat a 29, are you?
No, but I did roll a dirty 20.
Technically, I get advantage. Okay, yeah, 29. All right, so she's gonna go first,
Roll the
and
best I can.
you two are about, we'll say you started like sort of 10 feet away from each other.
We had a short rest, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that Roz has ever wondered what it would be like to be shot by Zana's big gun?
I feel like at least part of her went, huh, I wonder what that was like.
All right, well, she's going to use grit and sharpshooter as she aims at you with bad news. Oh, my God.
Did you crit?
She crit.
Well,
Good A.
that's
So
not
that-
gonna feel great.
Is 4d12.
It's a bruise.
Yeah, I think so.
She rolled a 1 and a 2 on 2 of those dice.
That's good.
So
Might be
that
around or might not around.
so that is 25 damage. Well, whether you're around or not, everyone here, like, bad news goes off like it's a cannon.
Yeah,
so
well-
that's 25 damage, Roz, as you are basically hit like point blank in the chest, and it doesn't like dent your armor or anything because again, these are basically like essentially like non-lethal sort of beanbag kind of rounds. But when it hits you, it still sends you fly, like pushes you back like 10, like you fucking feel it. And she just smiles as she basically kind of reloads it with her second attack and then stows it and takes out her other 2 guns. And she's going to use her bonus action to take the dodge action, and it's your turn.
Okay. Roz kind of staggers back like, all right. And she's going to use her bonus action to use Blinding Smite.
Okay.
And she is going to lunge forward and try to attack the gem.
All right. Make a attack. If you get above a 23, you hit the gem.
Okay. We will spend inspo to make it a regular roll.
Yep.
So I need at least a 13. That is a 16, so 26.
All right. Yeah, that hits.
And she will do a 3rd level spell slot smite as well.
All right. Go ahead.
She said she wanted everything I've got, so here's everything I've got.
Yep.
/ roll 1d8 plus 1d6 plus. She is not a fiend or undead, I assume. So that
Wouldn't
will
this be an
an-
interesting way to find
Oh,
out?
actually, she is. Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's
Oh.
different. So plus 78 plus 8. 59 damage.
All right. So as your smite goes off, there is anyone around watching me, even you, Roz, especially with the blinding smite on there as well. There's a massive explosion in flash of light, and there's a secondary blast of something magical. But after the attack, obviously Zana stumbles back, and she has a huge wound and burn on that shoulder from where you hit her, and she holds her hand up. That's enough. That's good. That's fine. And you see on the ground, in several pieces, is the pendant. And she goes and she picks it up. I'll give you an explanation in a while. Just, I need to do something now. And she heads back downstairs.
Roz looks very confused.
But Maeve, you probably would have got up there like right as
Yeah.
Rosalind took her attack, or at least past Zana as she's walking back down.
Yeah. Whoa, what's
You
happening?
go ask Roz.
Where are you going?
I need to do something. I'll be fine.
Will you explain soon?
Yes, as she climbs down. You come out
Okay,
and-
I go up.
There's a few other crew members on the deck as well that's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, I'll go to Roz and like, what just happened?
I have no idea.
And
weren't you attacking
Winston
each other?
Winston goes, she just hit her with a big boomy light thingy.
Well, yeah, I was sparring with her, and I used a smite because she shot me in the chest with a shotgun.
Okay.
It was actually a rifle. There's a difference between that and a shotgun.
Oh,
I don't have one to show you because they're expensive, but maybe one day.
it was with a rifle.
Rifle. Got it. You just wanted to spar?
Yeah,
You all used your just biggest moves on each other.
I mean, she said don't hold back, so I didn't hold back.
Okay. Did I see her like holding the gem at all?
No, she's kind of
Or
had it in
no?
her pocket. Well, she probably pocketed it. Her hand was definitely like on her
Okay.
wound.
That's fine. Then I don't know. She'll just shake her head. I'm gonna demand some explanations, and she's gonna go find Sana.
I'm gonna demand some explanations.
Yeah.
Roz puts Radiant Sister away and is like, "Hey, Light. People are fucking weird."
Yeah.
Yeah. They commiserate about how weird people are.
All right, Maeve. So you're heading down to Zana's room.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'll just hang by the door, I think, and I'll just send her a mental message and go, I'm here. I hope you're ready soon because I'm very worried.
Do you try to listen to what's going on the other side of the door?
Sure.
Maeve is eavesdropping. Make a perception check. Oh boy, she did not roll well. With her, she got a dirty 20.
27.
Okay. You can hear bits and pieces of a conversation going on the other side. You hear her talking about it was an accident. She'd asked me to spar. It was a lucky hit. I'll be sure to check in every day.
Okay.
Oh.
It was like, oh fuck, it's a tracking device.
After a few more minutes, you hear in your
Sure.
head, you can come in.
All right, she'll be like, okay. In her head, not she's just thinking to herself, and she'll slowly open the door and come in and close it behind her.
How much does second wind give back? 13. She is in here bandaging the radiant burn mark that she has across her shoulder and her
That's-
arm.
Sana, let me help.
It's fine.
I don't know.
She calls you down as well, Roz. She'll
All right.
want an explanation. It's better than doing it twice.
Okay.
Yep, Roz goes down and kind of winces at the burn mark. Sorry.
Sorry about
I
the
think-
subterfuge. Zenithal, that pendant was something that he uses to listen in and monitor. So if I get in trouble on a mission, he can help. He can know where I am.
You didn't want to listen anymore?
I've wanted to tell all of you about it sooner. Listening in on me, he can obviously hear when all of you are around as well. And I wanted to get rid of it out of respect for all of you. But I needed a way to do that.
An excuse to do it.
Excuse to do it, and that
An
obviously, if
accident.
you just say it, it's not. If we just talked about it before, then he would know. That makes sense.
He'll have a new one for me if we ever return to Rexentrim, but until then, I check in daily with him using a sending stone, and obviously he can still scry on me should he want to, but
A little freer, I suppose. If that's
She
what you want.
she shrugs.
I'll give you two some privacy.
How about a little lay on hands first?
Okay.
She'll how much yeah, I guess she needs 59 HP, right? Well,
She's second winded, so she needs about 50.
okay. Well, she can have 20 because the rest of it's going to Roz to heal up the 25 she took.
Oh, fair enough.
I would like to cast Healing Spirit.
Well, you can do so
Oh,
because
okay.
she still has HP she needs.
Thank
Yep.
you.
But Roz will leave after that.
Okay.
All right, so before Maeve and Zana have their little one-on-one, is there anything anybody else would like to do?
Guess that's second level.
Corey, by the way, offers up if anyone wants to dream anywhere or to anyone. She actually suggests she will say she probably comes. She gets Roz and Hermia together, or she'll basically everybody except Zana and Maeve goes.
Yeah.
So hey, I had an idea. What we can't. Ever since that thing, the plague of like butt faces or whatever, attacked Rosalind's MILF lady back in Rexentrum at the school. She's been in a coma or whatever and like hasn't woken up, but if she's in a coma, she's probably dreaming. So like, what if we tried to visit her in a dream?
I mean, that's a great idea, but which one of us is not going to piss her off the most?
Probably Roz.
Yeah, I'm not there. Sorry.
I feel like we're all going to piss her off.
Yeah,
But,
but
yeah,
didn't
that's
she
fine.
like you?
I think so.
Yeah, and you like her, so like it's a win-win. And it's a
Fair.
dream, so you get to decide what everything looks like.
Are you trying to hook me up with a coma patient?
Well, she's not going to be in a coma in the dream, Roz. I'm just saying you could treat her like a nice dinner or some wine or something.
Yeah.
You know what?
okay.
Maeve did it with Kaylin already, so like talk to her about what worked.
Yeah, listen, that was a different thing. But I will talk with Elena, sure.
All right, you want me to get it ready then?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So she goes ahead and sets up the dream spell and casts it on you. And you can immediately tell that indeed Elena is in a deep slumber.
Yep. So Roz will go to sleep and enter into the dream.
Enter into the dream. How are you presenting to her? Like, what is the surroundings? What do you look like? What are you sort of creating within the dream here?
So Roz isn't in her armor. She's not going to come like she's in an attack. She's just herself in her casual wear. And we are on a beach on the Menagerie Coast.
Okay.
At least a nice view she can enjoy instead of, well, I don't know what you see when you're in a coma.
Yep. So as you close your eyes, there's blackness for a moment, and then you hear the sound of the waves crashing against the sand. You smell the sea salt in the air. Hear the gentle cawing of birds. And as you open your eyes and look to your left, see Elena sitting there next to you, looking out into the waves as well.
Actually worked quite well. Hello, Ms. Burnright.
She sits there motionless.
Elena? She waves.
As you wave in front of her and reach out to touch her shoulder, she turns, looking towards you, and there's a vacantness in her eyes.
Ooh.
She looks at you with just confusion.
Elena, this is Rosalind. I don't know if you remember me. You were attacked. You're in a coma right now, and we've reached you through a dream spell.
Just more confusion. She reaches out to sort of touch your face like she isn't sure what she's looking at or what's happening.
Okay.
And her eyes just kind of fall back to her side. You watch as her hands just kind of move through the sand and then fixate on the ocean.
Gonna give her a moment to just process, and I'll get up and just kind of walk around.
Mhm.
If you'd prefer a different venue, I could attempt to change it.
as you speak to her, your words don't seem to register with her. You can tell that she hears you. There's a spark of recognition of sound, but still just this vacant look on her face.
Well, seen crazier things. I'm gonna reach out and cast Luster Restoration on her.
Not through a dream.
No, okay. I will kneel down in front of her and reach out and take her hand. Your name is Elena Burnright. She's the Archmage of Antiquity, is it?
Correct.
Yeah. You're the Archmage of Antiquity with the Cerberus Assembly in Rexentrum.
As you talk, her eyes just kind of drift past you and just look over your shoulder out towards the sea.
I make a insight check or something.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Well, I got a good old +0 to that.
Roll high.
Sarah, you want to confirm the nat 20? Yep.
That's what you needed.
Okay, great.
So it takes you a moment, but there's a specific memory that comes back to you, a story that your family would tell the few times that Aunt Drea came around, because it seemed to be the only thing that would ever get a rise out of your Aunt Drea. She didn't want anybody to know about it. And even after the story, your mother Evelyn had to threaten your aunt that if she were to ever use Modify Memory on you and she found out about it, she would have one less aunt to worry about coming over during Christmas.
Oh.
And it hits you that you think what you're looking at is that Elena may be under the effects of a feeble mind spell.
Oh. Roz kind of just winces as she sits down next to her. Oh, Helena. I'm so sorry. We brought this upon you. It can be fixed, but not from where we are. We'll have to send word back. Does she seem at peace here, at least?
Yeah, I'd say that there seems to be a peace and a calmness over her.
Then Roz will stay with her for the entire 8-hour dream, for as long as it lasts, and just at least let her be at peace for these 8 hours.
Okay. Meanwhile, Leaf, Leo, Hermia, was there anything that you want to do with anyone?
Leaf is going to take a portion of the ship for itself, and
You have a bedroom.
sure, and
They built one for you, okay? Whether you use it or not.
is going to attempt to scry once again on my good Dr. Creator.
On Dr. Mom.
Dr.
Mom.
Dr. Mom.
Right, okay.
Oh god, how are we gonna help Elena now?
All right, so let's see. Your save modifier is normally
18.
18. You have first, you are familiar with her, so it goes down to a 13. Okay. Wait, no, that's the wrong way. Sorry. Hold
Yeah,
on.
wrong one.
23. She rolled a 23. So, same thing that happened last time. You feel your consciousness go up, and it begins to move forward and towards your home. But something there is impeding the completion of the spell. Make a Arcana or an Insight check.
Ten.
Fucking stupid magic.
Magic dumb.
Magic is dumb. Yeah.
I hate magic.
Keiru is near you, and you just hear, magic dumb.
Okay. In that case, Leaf is going to is going to So at my home, there wasn't like a jail or a prison
No.
cell.
No, you guys had no use for a jail or a prison cell.
I figure. Can I scry on the location that is, or can Leaf scry on the location that was Dr. Fernelius's bedroom?
Yeah. Yeah, and that doesn't require a check, right?
No, it's just
Okay.
does.
So once again, up, rushing in, this time through the cave, through the entrance, through the laboratory, back into her room. And you see the old, sort of worn down, secondhand four-post bed put up into the corner of this vaguely square-shaped room in the back of the cavern. You see the desk next to it. A single candle is lit. And sitting there in the desk, scribbling furiously, you see a man. Make a perception check for me. $26.
26.
You can make out the details pretty decently from the vantage that you have. You can't quite see his full face, but he seems to be elven. He's wearing fine clothes. You can see a bit of the paper. He's writing in Elvish, but has good penmanship. Not quite sure what it is that he's writing, though. But within this room, you can also see that there are two of those automatons that you had seen on the pirate ship and that you had seen with the Marquise are here in this room as well. Looking around, it's definitely a bit... No, it's actually probably cleaner than Dr. Fernelius used to keep it. You don't see any of her belongings in here. It seems as though this man has made this space his own.
And I have no idea who this person is.
You've never seen this man before.
Do I have like a good view of his face?
You can see like a side profile of it. If you saw him again in person, you would recognize him, or you could scry on him specifically.
Or I could be able to recreate him using an illusion spell.
Sure, yeah.
Is any of Dr. Fernelius's items in her room? Like any
Nope.
like bookcases or armoires or whatever?
The furniture is all still there, but anything else that would be like specifically hers, you don't see in this room.
Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna watch for the 10 minutes and nothing else happens. That's it.
All right. Maeve.
Yeah.
You sit there with Zana. You use your healing spirit on her.
I did 26 HP.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I upcasted that bad boy. 3rd level spell slot.
Yeah, all right. She's fully healed. She takes the bandages off. The burn marks completely vanish away. I guess I don't have much of an excuse not to be forward with you now.
Well,
What do you want out of us?
She thinks about that for a moment. How much do you understand the customs of my people when it comes to things like this? Relationships, I should say.
From what you've told us, you're open. You don't necessarily have a lot of attachments, and they're not mutually exclusive.
There's a saying that all the elders tell us as we grow up. I think the best way to translate it in common would be that the heart is infinite, but time is not. It's meant to be a sort of warning against people who might try to have as many people as possible that they're around, but it's also meant to kind of signify that, for me at least, yes, I have feelings for Kaylin, but it's not. It's separate from what I feel towards you. So, I guess the answer is I am as comfortable with whatever distance you want to go.
What are those? What are those feelings? Because are they what you and Roz shared in Aor's recollection? Are they
No.
what you have for Kaylin? Are they more? Are they in between?
She kind of glances on the floor as she's trying to kind of collect her words together a little bit. Not very good at describing feeling stuff, so please forgive me.
Let me ask it a
When
different way then. Where do
Did
you
she say,
see
oh,
it?
it's a different Maeve?
No, I'll ask a different way.
Oh.
I'll ask a different Maeve, and she opens a portal and jumps through it.
Thanks.
Where do you see this going, and where does it end? In your eyes?
I mean, I don't really... We're on a very dangerous mission together, and I don't know what a happy ending's gonna look like in all of this. I don't really want to go back home if I survive this. I don't want to just go back to what I was doing and feeling pointless and stuck. I want to be able to travel the world too. I want to be able to do more of what we're doing. I want to be able to relate to the world more. So I say that saying that, I don't know exactly if we're going to have a chance at some kind of happily ever after, but I'd like to at least take a journey with you.
She's sort of looking down and avoiding eye contact during all of this.
Well, you've asked me, and it's okay if it's different for you. What about you? What do you see this? What do you see me as for you?
Maeve, people who are involved with me don't get happy endings. If we survive this and we are successful in this, then I go back to helping the Empire the way that I know how to help the Empire. And I've done that with someone who didn't ask me any questions and who wasn't a part of my world, and my world still took her from me. And eventually I opened up to another who knew what the risks were and who could look after herself, and my world took her from me as well. And I had told myself that I was never going to put someone in that position again, and I know that you can look out for yourself too.
She'll slide a little closer so she can put a hand on her shoulder. You see yourself as a bad luck charm because of what you do, and I don't blame you. If I was in your position, I probably would too, but see it that way. I mean, how can you know for sure what you're going to do after this? We don't even know what's going to happen a week from now. I'm only guessing. I think it's way too soon to be able to make any of these final decisions about what you're going to do, what I'm going to do. Besides, if you really made that promise to yourself, then what changed? How did I change that?
She seems flustered. You're all so stupid.
Explain it to me like I'm stupid.
I don't
then.
want to explain it to you like you're stupid, all right? I just did. You're all open and caring, and as a changeling, it's hard not to emulate what those around you are doing, okay?
Hmm?
It works extra hard to try and keep all of you away and out of my business.
So it's all of our faults that this is happening?
Yes, it is.
I am not even a little bit sorry.
She crosses her arms, kind of pulls her shoulder away from you. Great, I'm happy.
Hey. So, I'm not scared of you, or what you bring, or what your bad luck charm, or what the work you do. And I'm not scared of Zenithal either.
Now, would you be afraid of him?
Would I be afraid of him?
Why would you be afraid of him?
Oh. I don't know. You were worried enough to make sure he couldn't hear us talking right now.
It was something that I've needed to do for a while. It was a trust thing for all of you.
Is that all it was?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
You can make an insight
You know-
check on that if you want to.
Sure, yeah.
Does she have advantage?
21.
It's difficult to tell. She's obviously very hard to read,
Mm-hmm.
but she does avert her gaze for like a split second when she answers that.
Okay. Sana, let's just be honest with each other. I've been honest with you. You can do that with me.
If some You almost died in Dedran. The day after you asked me to that gala with you. The day after.
Mm-hmm. And you think that's your fault?
When was the last time that you were near death? Usually it's me or Roz.
Well, I mean, I've had some near. I guess that was not the greatest, but I had the experience like we all did with those Myriad guys. I've been in danger before. I've been cornered before. I was at death's door before Luster saved me. You see patterns because you're scared. That makes sense to me.
I'm not scared.
This isn't fear that I'm going to die.
Whatever.
It's okay. But that was also not even anything. You're speaking as if the universe is conspiring against you on all of this.
It's not that
And
serious. It's just
hard to watch. That makes sense. But I'm not scared. I don't see it like that at all. And listen, you also could push me away and I could almost die tomorrow too.
what does Kalen think of? Would he think of this?
Let's see. He was worried when I first asked him out that I would use him as an excuse to push other people away, I believe were his words. So he would actually, weirdly enough, I think just be happy that there was someone close to me. Like, physically, distance, close. Kalen likes his freedom. He likes his adventures. He doesn't want to be tied down. And I respect that. And I like that about him. But he's not going to be the person that I get to necessarily spend probably a lot of time with as a result.
And what is it you think you like about me then?
She does giggle 'cause she's like, oh, someone's fishing, man.
She rolls her eyes at you.
Well, let's see here. I will admit, when I first met you, I really did think you were very standoffish and just wanted to keep us all at arm's length. And I don't think I was wrong in that. But as I got to know you a little bit better, I realized that you were more introverted and that what I mistook for your running away was actually a great capacity for loyalty that you had to be sure was well applied, and fear of attachment. And as I got to know a bit more there, I realized that you're funny, you're playful, you have this incredible way of looking at people, even if it's sometimes a little pessimistic. And also, you admitted you were wrong about me on something. I'm not sure if I can explain how much that meant to me. Your turn.
My turn what? To tell you what I like about myself?
Zana. She kind of looks at her. Listen, I can't be the only one just vulnerably saying all my emotions. Why are we having this conversation even? Why do you like me?
She seems to be struggling for a moment and then just leans in to kiss you.
All right. She'll kiss her back, but she will at some point separate, go, you're going to have to say the words at some point, but then she'll kiss her again.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.